Oskaloosa Indians football is on the air as the Oskaloosa Indians take on Pella, live on KMZN. HD streaming video via the No Coast Network at radiokmzn.com and all over the world on the KMZN smartphone app. Oskaloosa Indians football brought to you by Fairway, Mahaska, Oskaloosa Vision Center Incorporated, Clow Valve Company, Bank Iowa, William Penn University, Mahaska Drug, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Robert Auld Investments, Bruxford's Decorating Center, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Hawkeye Real Estate, Kelly Style Insurance, Pella Printing, Petrito Orthodontics, Penn Central Mall, and Raymond James Financial Services. And now, let's go live to Oskaloosa Indians football action on the No Coast Network.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy.
Welcome in live. We are here at the Lacey Recreation Complex, part of the No Coast Network, with the help of the Oskaloosa Video Production Department, and we'll talk about all of that later. Most importantly, you are watching the warm-ups for the first game of the football season as the Oskaloosa Indians host the defending Class 3A state champions. Some polls have them number 1, some polls have them number 3. It's the Pella Little Dutch here in Oskaloosa. My name's Emery Songer. I'm your play-by-play broadcaster tonight, and my broadcast partner, as usual for my Oskaloosa broadcast, is Doug DeCock. Doug, first and foremost, it is just a good sight to see fellas running around on the gridiron once again.
Yeah, beautiful weather tonight, around 70 degrees here at Community Stadium at the Lacey Complex. They are expecting a record crowd here tonight, so you couldn't get a better first week matchup in South Central Iowa, or the state of Iowa for that part, with Oskaloosa versus Pella tonight. It's
going to be a fun matchup on the field. As you mentioned, the atmosphere should be electric, and the weather is absolutely perfect for week number 1. Beautiful, bright blue skies as we are getting to the dusk of the night, and when that happens, we'll be right around that high 50s, low 60s degrees, a little breeze. It couldn't be better out here for week number 1. We'll go ahead and go to our first break. When we come back, I had a chance to talk with both coaches tonight, Jay McKinstry of Pella and Jake Jenkins for Oskaloosa. We'll hear what they had to say going into their first game of the season. With that and more coming up on the pregame show right here on Oskaloosa Football as they take on Pella right here on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Look at that mouth. That poor, parched mouth. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Right now, your mouth could be tongue-bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
Clow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Clow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Clow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
Welcome back in. We are live from the Lacey Recreation Complex. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock, the whole crew with the OVB department at Oskaloosa High School, as well as our entire crew for the No Coast Network. Before we go any farther with our pregame show, we want to talk to each coach. Earlier this week, I had a chance to sit with both Jay McKinstry and Jake Jenkins to talk about their football team. Let's go ahead and talk to the coach of the three-time defending Class 3A state champs, head coach Jay McKinstry of Pella. Here's what he had to say. Emery Songer here live with head coach Jay McKinstry of the Pella Little Dutch football team. And coach, congratulations once again on another state championship. First and foremost, how does it feel when we say that you are a reigning and defending three-time state champion?
Well, Emery, I just feel very grateful and very thankful that just to get a chance to be part of what we've got to be part of for, several years here, and especially in the last 3 years as far as the get to do what we've got to do. I mean, it's just a really grateful and thankful feeling, and just appreciate everybody that's been a part of it.
One thing that has been interesting is the first 2 years your team was pretty much intact in terms of some of your star players, but last year a lot of turnover, and yet we still saw the same results on the field. You guys were tested a couple of times, but were able to pull out an improbable win in the semifinals, were able to win in the championship game once again, and now once again a big turnover in what the players are that are going to be on the field for Pella. What can you describe the differences between last year's team and the team that we can expect on the field week one this year?
Well, I think last year's team had probably just a little more experience than this year's team as far as at the varsity level. Whether they were at the exact same position they played last year, that may not have been the case, but they're on the field in some different spots. But when they were juniors, so I think that's the difference. That's a big difference this year. We just got a lot of kids that I think don't have the experience at the varsity level, and we have one starter back on offense and then 4 back on defense, and one of those players is the same one in Avery Van Z. So, certainly creates an element of learning how to play at a higher level, and we're going to need to learn that real quickly this year. And and the good news is that we get to play 2 non-district games first. We're really shooting for our district schedule, but it's awesome that we get to play such a high-quality team such as Oskaloosa and then DCG in the following week to help prepare us for our district. And that certainly is a needed thing this year. So, we're looking forward to tonight's game against Oskaloosa in the sense of learning how to play at a higher level. I think they'll be a really, really outstanding opponent for us.
You mentioned Oskaloosa, a team that your ball club knows very well from pretty much every sport as Little Hawkeye Conference teams. Last year's football season, Oskaloosa definitely turned things around from winning just 3 games the previous 2 years to winning 7 games. First game of the season, once again, that was a non-district game. And then in the playoffs, first-round playoffs, Pella got a chance to host Oskaloosa once again in what was a hard-fought game that Pella was able to pull away late. So Oskaloosa definitely going through the same thing in terms of turnover at a lot of important positions going into this year. But overall, Coach, what do you see in the Indians, and what do you expect from them? Because they did give you quite a challenge in the playoffs in the first round last year.
Well, I think, Coach Jenkins and Jake has done such a nice job as far as just getting the kids to believe and to play with enthusiasm and passion and excitement. And I think the kids just are really, it seems like they really want to get after it and play hard. And I think Jake's done a great job with that. And, that goes a long ways in just getting your program to play well like that. And you just see that, you can see the Oskaloosa's young kids last year. They have some, we know they have some very talented kids and some kids that can make plays, and that's what we see them doing this year. They certainly spread you out offensively quite a bit and put the ball in the air. And anytime you can throw the ball, you can basically beat anybody. But they certainly have some very good people and some very good personnel. They got a good lineman back in Blake, and he's just he was an outstanding football player, so I'm sure he anchors the guys up front, and whether the skilled people that they have or the other positions, I'm sure they're excited for their leadership there too. So we just know that they're going to be a well-coached, fundamentally sound, and a football team that's going to play with great passion, and it's certainly going to create a lot of challenges for us this year.
All right, Coach, last question before we get you out of here. This is obviously a big game for Oskaloosa to start the season, a big game for Pella as well, 41-game winning streak on the line. You've only lost once in the last 4 years total, but there are going to be a lot of new faces and new names that folks are going to be looking for the Dutch. Who are a couple of names that you think will be important names for people to pay attention to for Week 1?
Well, you're right. Again, when you talk about the win streak or whatever, and this, I really trying hard. I know it's hard. I mean, we can use the cliches in football and all that, but we really do need to kind of not get. We are trying to stay focused away from that. It's so hard, and everybody wants to talk about it, but it's really puts too much pressure on our kids. We just want to really focus on this game and on our second non-district game to help us get ready for district play, and that's really, really important to us. And we're trying to do that. To start naming names, we just hope that our senior leaders, guys like our returning starters such as Avery Van Zee and Jake Harima and Cade Van Vliet and Lucas Warner would, provide us great leadership on the field and try and help empower everybody else to elevate their play really quickly, tonight, because we're going to need to learn how to play at such a fast level when you're playing such a team as Oskaloosa, and that's what the guys we need to look for as far as to try and, get our other kids to elevate their play and then provide leadership that we need in the first game of the season, especially with probably so many expectations and just the pressure on us. But we really want to try and help the kids deal with that in the sense of, hey, this is a non-district game. We just want to try and be the best that we can be tonight and learn from it and hopefully play a great game and then, move on and just keep improving throughout the season.
Head coach Jay McKinstry of the reigning and defending 3-time state champions in Class 3A, the Pella Little Dutch. Coach, thanks so much for joining us and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Emery. Thanks for having us on your show.
All right, that is Coach Jay McKinstry. He knows what he's doing. He's got a lot of new faces to do it with, though, as we are going to immediately transition to what I had a chance earlier today. I had a chance to talk in his classroom with Jake Jenkins. Here with Oskaloosa head coach Jake Jenkins. And Coach Jenkins, we're back at it here for the 2017 season. First and foremost, a lot of new faces on the team this year, but the big turnaround last year has a lot of fans in Oskaloosa excited. Take me through your thoughts on what the 2016 season was for you.
2016 was kind of a dream come true. I had a chance to really lead a team, and I was excited for that. We had 20 seniors coming back, and we had some outstanding talent. A lot of new changes with offensive system and just the way that we operate in general. And so with the changes and with the quick turnaround, it was tough to get ready in time. But very excited with the way that we were able to persevere and push through. And I thought we had a successful year.
It was successful with a playoff berth and a brand new playoff system. It's tougher to get into the playoffs now, but making the playoffs has a lot of people excited. But the team that knocked you out of the playoffs is a team you know very well in the Pella Little Dutch. And tonight you get a chance to start your season against them at home. A lot of excitement in the air about this game. They, of course, defending state champions the last 3 years, haven't lost in 3 years, have lost once in the last 4 years. Oski hasn't beat them since 2006. There's a lot stacked up against Oskaloosa here, but it feels like this team that you have right now might be the right team to play not only with them, but have a chance to beat them. What do you think about the opportunity that this team has for Week 1 against the defending state champs?
Oh, it's a picture-perfect matchup. You sit there and you go, you couldn't write it up any better. Just kind of, you have the chance to knock off the back-to-back state champs who have won 41 in a row. I was talking to our kids about that, and it was just a lot of excitement. It's like a lot of respect. I respect their coaches and Jay McKinstry, their staff, their community, their kids. They play hard. They have awesome support. I'm just really thrilled that football in our area is so good. And that's a tribute to them, and it's a lot of what they have done and what they've accomplished is amazing. So I'm excited at the opportunity. I think it's going to be a really good game. I really do. I think it's going to be a great game, and it's going to be a great opener.
A lot of fans are excited for it, but a lot of fans are going to need to get used to some new names that people will be seeing in the maroon and white. Who are some of the big-name guys that you're excited to just see on the field for the first time here in Week 1?
Well, I would say I'm a secondary guy, so I start with Jane Van Rukel at free safety. He's really been putting in good reps there for the last couple of years. Playing behind Bennett Spry isn't easy. And so you'll see him with DeYoung obviously coming back, that's not a new name, but Tucker Nunakoven is a new name, and he's also playing corner on the other side with Alex Chapman, who's been on the team but hasn't had a chance for a start, and all of a sudden some of those guys are looking at going both ways. DJ Miles is a new name on the defense, and he's our starting Sam linebacker, and so that's completely new. It's new to him. He hasn't played in a couple years, so he's raw, but he's a talented young man and a man I like to be around. He's a good kid. Tanner Koch obviously is back. That's not a new name. But we have plenty of other ones out there with Kenny Satimi on the defensive line. You're going to see him out there tonight. Nicholas Dykstra, his dad, Duff Dykstra, is back in maroon as well, so he's a new face, but he's not new to the program. He's been a part of it, big part of his life. We're glad to have him on staff as well. So as far as the defense is concerned, those guys, along with Jared Cruz and then Blake Van Veldhuizen, two of our big guys that are back. No, I'm missing a couple names here, but then on the offensive side, you're going to see a lot of new faces, and we're okay with that. You have Blake in the middle of the offensive line. Obviously, he's going to play tackle. He's really kind of the rock that's in the middle there, playing tackle. He's going to lead the offense and defensive line. Tucker Irwin's a new name. Then we have Coots. Nick Coots is going to be a new name there. Brant Brown, and we have Noah Van Veldhuizen as well. So we're going to have kind of a duo there of the Van Veldhuizens on the offensive line, which will be really cool. And receivers, talked about Tucker Nunakoven, Alex Chapman, Cruz, and we have Casey Hill in the backfield with Seth Howard. He's going to be the starting quarterback tonight. So a lot of new faces, a lot of talented guys we're excited to see out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of guys that we're going to get used to seeing, but in all my talks, get a chance to talk with my broadcast partner Doug DeCock, who is really excited to see a lot of these guys get some time on the field. If somebody is on the fence about making the trip to go watch this game live, what is the one thing you want to tell them to get them out there and see exactly what your team's going to offer?
There's nothing better than Friday Night Lights. I mean, and what's better than a season opener, not knowing how good the defending state champs are going to be, not knowing how Oskaloosa is going to come back after last season going 7-3. Was it a fluke, or are we the real deal? Are we really going to be good year in and year out? Are we going to be the team to beat? So I'd say, if anything, it's that. You can't beat the ambiance and the feel of Friday Night Feel, especially in Iowa. It feels like fall. It feels like football weather. It doesn't feel like the beginning of the year, but it's going to feel like Friday night once those lights turn on, and it's going to be a heck of a show.
Coach Jake Jenkins, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, and that is Coach Jenkins. He's very excited about this opportunity, and we're excited to bring it to you. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening kickoff as Oskaloosa hosts Pella, and you're hearing and watching it all live right here on the No Coast Network.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Time Out to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge at kineticedgept.com or call us at 641-676-3535.
Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development is dedicated to the promotion and improvement of rural economies and to the development of both vision and leadership to enhance the quality of life in all Mahaska County. Recently designated as a home base Iowa community, Mahaska County and the city of Oskaloosa are now welcoming veterans and transitioning service members for career opportunities in the area. This also includes an incentives package created through Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development. For more information on how to support the Home Base Iowa initiative, contact Deanne DeGroot at 641-672-2591.
We are getting set for action here live from the Lacey Recreation Complex. The Oskaloosa Marching Indians are down on the track. They are about to deliver us the national anthem. Emery Songer with my broadcast partner, Doug DeCock, up here. And before the band gets going, Doug, very exciting stuff here for a beautiful week one.
Sure is, Emery. I got to admit, I am one nervous announcer right now. So bear with me this year, folks. If you're new to listening to us on the radio, once in a while I get a little excited. I do have 2 kids playing, but I'll do the best I can to bring you some insight on the games. And I know these kids pretty well in the senior group.
Yeah, you have a couple of kids in that senior group, Keaton and Tanner DeCock. Speaking of them, we'll talk about the starting lineups just in very short time. We'll also meet our third member of our broadcast team very shortly, but it looks like we're about to get going here with the national anthem. Let's go ahead and hear the Oski Marching Indians, who will be performing that here for us in week number 1. The Oskaloosa Marching Indians is now they're going to be playing on Wisconsin. The Oskaloosa fight song. The Indians are going to be coming onto the field. And before we get to the starting lineups, let's go ahead and meet our third member of our broadcast team down at field level, our sideline reporter, the coach, Jay Harms. Coach, how's it going tonight?
Hey, guys. I'll tell you what, it's pretty electric down here. As you just heard the national anthem and now the school fight song, and here comes the Indians onto the field right now. And all I was waiting there, guys, is for the Jets to fly over low. Other than that, I think we would have had a great start to this football game. And, man, I've never seen so many cars out here at Lacey before the start of a football game as I did tonight.
Well, Coach, we are going to be checking in with you periodically throughout the night, and what I can tell you is we can feel the energy all the way up here at the top of this press box. We'll go ahead and get you the starting lineups. First for the visitors, the Pella Little Dutch, 3-time defending state champs, 41-game winning streak, 51-1 over the last 4 years, and Oskaloosa hasn't defeated them since 2006. All of that is on the line here tonight. For Pella, offensively, a lot of new faces. The quarterback is going to be Ryan Gustafson. He is a 6'1 junior. He'll be joined in the backfield by a familiar face in Avery Van Zee, a senior, and then Reese Schnell also will be back there along with Sam Warner, senior and junior respectively. The lone wide receiver on the list is Curtis Ware as a starter. He is a senior. They are not going to be going too wide this season, we don't think. The tight end is Nick DeYoung. He is a junior. 4 seniors along the offensive line. The right tackle is Lucas Warner. The right guard, Jake Hirama. They got the senior center is Joel Byram. With the left guard, another senior, Cade Van Vliet. the lone junior is the left tackle, Bobby Shield. Defensively for the Dutch, it is going to be Nick DeYoung, Jake Hirama, and Joel Byram all on the line, as well as the 4 linebackers, Cade Van Vliet, Lucas Warner, Sam Warner, and Gabe Thomas. The 2 safeties are Reese Schnell and Curtis Ware. The 2 corners, Avery Van Zee and Ian Vecina. Those guys very much a lot of the same names on both the offensive and defensive side for the Little Dutch here tonight. For Oskaloosa, it'll be the brand new quarterback, Seth Howard, getting things going. A good athlete, came in from Grinnell over the last school season, joined Oskaloosa School District over the winter, actually, so he won the starting quarterback job. Cole Henry, also we would expect to see the field not only as a potential quarterback but also as a receiver. Along the offensive line, Tucker Irwin at left tackle. From left to right, Nick Kutz. Noah Van Veldhuizen gets to start at center. Brant Brown will be the right guard, and Blake Van Veldhuizen, an all-state caliber player, at right tackle. The skill position players other than the quarterback, Casey Hill should be in the backfield. Tanner DeCock, Tucker Nunakoven, Alex Chapman, and Jared Cruz will be starting at different positions, either in the backfield or on the outside. As before we get yourself going for the defense, the captains are out there. We'll talk about that in a second. Along the offensive line, or the defensive line rather, is Jared Cruz at left end, Kenny Satimi at left tackle, Blake Van Veldhuizen also starting defensively at right tackle, and the right end is Nick Dykstra. Linebackers, DJ Miles at the Sam position, Tanner DeCock in the middle with Cole Kraber on the weak side. The Brave is Keaton DeCock tonight. It's kind of a hybrid between the safety and linebacker position, so we'll see where he plays. The free safety is Jaden Van Rukel, as we heard Coach Jake Jenkins talk about. He's very excited about seeing Jaden on the field here in this season. Then the 2 corners, Alex DeYoung, who was one of the leaders in interceptions all season long last year with 7 in the state of Iowa. And then the left corner is Tucker Nunakoven, back out for football after taking a year off. Doug, you look at that list, a lot of familiar faces, but at the same time, some kids we're excited to see play that we haven't seen in Indian uniforms before. It's going to be a fun one tonight.
Yeah, I think Coach Jenkins mentioned that during the week, that he's excited to see how these guys do. There's 8 seniors starting on offense, 8 seniors starting on defense, and those guys have put their time in. They've been waiting patiently. You know, last year they were behind some really good players, as Oskaloosa had an excellent class. They lost a lot of good players, so there are some question marks. Pella has the same thing. They've got a lot of question marks. One thing Oskaloosa knows better this year than they did last year is they know their offense. The coaches are very confident they can make adjustments throughout the game to be able to attack different defenses.
Oskaloosa did win the toss. They actually did the formal toss prior to the teams taking the field tonight. They did that with the captains as the teams were warming up. Oski won the toss, elected to defer. They are going to get the ball likely in the second half. Pella will receive to start the game here in the first half. We mentioned Pella. They've won the last 3 Class 3A state championships. Oskaloosa would love to start the season by beating them for the first time in 4 years. Before the last time they lost was when they lost in the playoffs back in 2013. So Coach Jay McKinstry on a good run, but as you heard in our interview, that's not really what he's concerned with. He just wants his team to play better by the time the district's schedule in a couple of weeks kicks off for them. Oskaloosa, I think, would love nothing more than to pull off what many would believe is a big upset here to start week number 1. We are getting set to go. The outstanding kicker, Aaron Blom, lines it up, and off and running we are. They kick off deep back to about the 4-yard line. Is going to be returned by the Dutch straight up the gut, making one man miss, and then getting taken down at the 21-yard line is the return man, Gabriel Thomas. And Pella's offense will come onto the field wearing their white uniforms for our radio listeners, trimmed in that green. Oskaloosa in the maroon, brand new gray pants. We've seen a lot of gray getting integrated in the Oskaloosa uniform set. That's a sharp look they have here tonight.
It's a nice look, Emery. The Indians looking sharp on that kickoff there. I was surprised that Avery Van Zee was not in back there deep for Pella. He's their game breaker, but Ike Schultz with a nice tackle for the Indians on the kickoff.
Oskaloosa going to be playing defense for the first time. Of course, we played 4 12-minute quarters in high school football, and the first play from scrimmage in 2017 for the Dutch. They have a little bit of a different look out there. A couple of fullbacks next to Gustafson, who's in the pistol, and he's just going to have a design run to the right. Off right tackle outside the tackle box, but he's going to be brought down by Jared Cruz, stretching it out nicely. And we expect to see a lot of this from Pella this season. Not a lot of the high-flying aerial acrobatics we saw with Nick Finney and those tall receivers last year.
Yeah, Pella looks like they're going to go fast here tonight. I would look, Pella's offense is probably going to look at a 70-30 distribution running to passing.
Yeah, Gustafson takes a quick snap. He rolls to his left and is going to throw downfield, going for the home run. Just overthrows his intended target, which is Curtis Ware, the lone wide receiver on the depth chart as a starter. Trying to get Oskaloosa, catch him off guard a little bit, and they were targeting the opposite side of the field of Alex DeYoung there, but Jaden Van Rukel also was in the mix. Pella's not going to huddle up too frequently, but they're just going to try to catch you off guard.
Well, and we heard some rumors that they had some three-back sets. They call it a diamond, and they were in that three-back set here the second on second down. So we got 3rd and long for the Dutch right here.
This was an issue for Oskaloosa against Pella last year. As soon as you would get into 3rd and long situations, Pella was able to find ways to get it down the field. Back in that diamond formation, 3 backs. Here's a fake handoff rolling to the left again as Gustafson fires it downfield and again overshoots his man Curtis Ware. So it was almost a carbon copy play, but right there was Keaton DeCock in coverage that time. Not a big window for Gustafson to hit, and it's going to be a quick 3 and out for Pella here on their first drive of the game.
Well, Gustafson, Van Zee had a step on DeCock there. Not bad coverage, but Gustafson was overthrowing balls in the warm-ups also, and this is his first varsity start. We just saw him overthrow 2 balls right there.
Yeah, and Curtis Ware, he's a good receiver, but he is not the Ryan Van Wykes we were seeing last year in the Donovan Holter houses that Pella was able to use last year. So back to punt to start things off. Gabriel Thomas with Tyler Miller, the kick returner. The punt returner for Oskaloosa standing at his own 43-yard line. Here's the snap, rolling to the left, a left-footed boot. A little spiral, and Miller makes the catch at the 44. He turns it upfield. He's across midfield. He breaks a tackle. A flag comes down behind the play, and Miller gets down to the 40, but we'll see and check on the flag. But Oskaloosa, regardless, should have good field position for their first offensive series. Let's see what the officials have down on the field.
They're going to get Oskaloosa on either a hold or an illegal block here at the 45, so early penalty. Nice catch by Miller on the line drive punt and a nice return, but Oskaloosa is going to kind of shoot themselves in the foot here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, guys, 2 down here on the sidelines. That's pretty stiff wind right out of the east right now, and that was a nice running catch by Tyler to not let that ball, roll. And tough break there with a penalty, but hopefully get something going here in our first series.
Yeah, Coach Arms is right down there. You can see that ball fluttering all over the place. He probably would have called that pitch on a 3-2 count, right, Coach?
You're right, right there.
Got you off guard. Change up.
Anyways, 4 wide receivers. Oskaloosa does like the high wire act, and new quarterback Seth Howard's in the shotgun with his running back Casey Hill next to him. 2 wide receivers to each side as Oskaloosa will look back to the sideline for the official signal. You see a lot of high school and college teams go into this kind of look, just getting the defense, not letting them regroup and forcing them to set early. In the shotgun, 1st and 10 from their own 45, a handoff to Hill right up the gut, nothing doing, maybe a loss of 1. The first man in there for Pella was Lucas Warner, making the tackle from his linebacker spot, a loss of 1, and it's 2nd and 11.
And Warner's an all-state linebacker. The strength of this Pella Dutch team this year looks to be their linebacking core. Tucker Irwin's going to have his hands full here on the left side with Nick DeYoung, the talented junior for Pella.
Once again, Oskaloosa will be in that shotgun. Howard will take a quick snap, and he'll pull this one out, a read option, gets to the outside, back to the line of scrimmage, makes a man miss. He's at midfield before being ridden down. A nice pickup of about 8 yards there, and you can see kind of the ability. That wasn't necessarily the cleanest read option we've ever seen, but Howard's athleticism making up for the slow developing play.
Well, nice power. He shook off 2 tacklers there to get positive yardage on that play. So nice game for the Indians. They might be in 4-down territory now.
And as you see on our replay here, powered by MCG with the help from the OVP production, we'll get those replays figured out throughout the night. We appreciate all the effort that was getting put in to tonight's broadcast. Here's a quick handoff, Hill up the gut. He's got himself a first down. Pickup of 3.5 yards. Needed 2.5 to pick up the first down, and a good start for Oskaloosa as they'll move the sticks.
Well, and I mentioned Pella trying to run the ball. I think Oskaloosa would love to be 50-50. They're running the ball right now, and if they can run the ball, they'll keep doing that.
Once again, Oskaloosa will go quickly, at least to the line of scrimmage. Whether or not they'll take a quick snap, you never know. And again, they'll fake the quick snap just so Pella has to stay locked in defensively without getting guys in and off, on and off the field for any changes. And Howard's able to look back and get the signal.
Well, it also gives them a good chance to read the Pella defense and where they're lined up.
And no real deep safety on the far side of the field. Here's a quick snap, and that ball was kept by Howard. Again, kind of a read option, but Pella easily able to get into the backfield. They did make the tackle, but Nick DeYoung was the guy who really blew the play up right from the start.
Yeah, the snap kind of floated back there from Noah that time. Seth had to reach up for it. Pella shades to the strong side, so you might need to look to cut the ball back if they can get a step. But right now, Pella's getting too good a penetration right off the line of scrimmage.
That's going to force Howard and this Oskaloosa offense to try to go a little bit quicker. Now they're going to go an empty set, 5 wide receivers as Hill splits out to the far side. 2nd and 10 from the Pella 44 as DeCock now comes as an H-back. He's going to be an extra protector. Howard drops back, now rolls to his right, a pump fake, still rolling to his right. Now he wants to run, and he's going to get maybe back to the line of scrimmage before being forced out once again by the ever-active Lucas Warner, and it'll be about 3rd and 10 for Oskaloosa at the Pella 44-yard line.
Yeah, that's kind of a different look from Oskaloosa there. They kept Tanner in as an extra blocker, which I think is a good idea by the looks of what's happened so far. Seth did have, looked like Casey Hill in the middle of the field, but that's a throwback pass, and that's a dangerous pass to make.
Big crowd on hand. Oskaloosa's first 3rd and long of the night. They're going to look back to the sideline once again. Once again, back in the backfield is Casey Hill with 4 wide receivers, 2 split out to each side. And the shotgun is Howard. He'll take the snap, and he will hand it off. A little draw here to Hill. He gets to the outside, and it's hit. Nice big hit, and that'll allow the cleanup by Van Zee. But the man on the big hit looked as though it was Cade Van Vliet, but for Oskaloosa now, this is kind of that no man's land on the field.
Well,
Doug, you almost have to go for it here.
I think you got to go for it. If he would have got 5 yards or less, you probably punted away, but he's got 7 yards. This is a very doable 4th down and 3 right here.
See how quickly Oski goes, and they will not go quickly. Again, they just go to the line of scrimmage and prepare as though they will snap it, just to make sure Pella can't get players on and off the field. They have to remain set, and they get, like Doug said, a good read on what the defense looks like. Howard in the shotgun on 4th and 3 at the Pella 37-yard line. The snap, another handoff to Hill. He's bottled up initially, breaks a tackle, but he will not be able to get there. Good effort there by Casey Hill, but the drive will come up short by about a yard, and Pella's offense will take control. Not a terrible first series for Oskaloosa, though, being able to move the ball a little bit against this Pella defense, and not a terrible first drive for Seth Howard in an Indian uniform.
No, they had some success. I'm not sure I like that play call with the penetration the defense has been getting, but Pella plays press coverage, and so we're going to have to take some shots. Our receivers are going to have to beat their guy off the line and take some deep shots here.
Here we go, that diamond formation as Pella's offense back in. Van Zee now will split out wide to the young side, and there's going to be a little handoff, a little counter play from one of the fullbacks, and getting forward to about the 44-yard line. A nice pickup of 8, and that, once again, on the handoff, went to Samuel Warner. So Sam Warner picking up 8. That's the first good play offensively we've seen from the Dutch.
Yeah, they run Avery out of the backfield in motion, and then they lead through with the other back. So that's a good running play for the Little Dutch on 1st down, 8 yards.
2nd and 2 at their own 44. Ball in the middle of the field, and this is a broken play and nowhere to go, really. Oskaloosa's going to pick up the scraps, but it looked like Van Zee or Gustafson, one of the two, went the wrong direction and a loss of 1.
I thought we had a little spinner back action going from the old days that we used to run here at Oskaloosa. I was like, wait a minute, they're going to run spinner back there? But, yeah, mess up on the play, and so the Indians, big 3rd down. I think if they can hold them here, Pella will probably punt.
3rd and 3, ball on Pella's own 43-yard line, just under 7 minutes to play in the first quarter. Scoreless here as both teams had one unsuccessful possession. Pella splits, again, just 1 wide receiver out, and that is Curtis Ware. They have those 4 backs, including the quarterback Gustafson. He'll hand it off to Van Zee, the deep back, a little stutter step. He dives forward, and he's got a 1st down, a pickup of 4. And Van Zee, he is their lone game breaker. Coach Harms, you're down on the field, being able to see what Pella's offense is trying to see. What do you see from the Indians so far defensively?
Well, like I think, Doug was saying, we're going to have to go ahead and really our defensive line, we've got to make some penetration here. Pella's starting to put the ball on the ground now. They come out that first series and try to hit us with some passes, and now they're looking at the running game. So let's watch our linebacker and see what our D-line does here if we get some penetration.
Yeah, Oskaloosa a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage here. Van Zee again, he'll go to the slot on the far side. This is going to be a fake handoff one way, and here comes Gustafson. 2 blockers and just 1 Indian. He's inside the 30.
They got a holding on.
And they'll get a hold there. Jaden Van Roekel, a great job to stop the touchdown anyways, but one of those 2 blockers we were talking about, 2 blockers, 1 Indian, and you really didn't need to do that. Here's the replay. It was a bad snap that Gustafson was able to hold on to, but you saw two blockers in front, and the blocker who made the contact reached and grabbed the outside of DeYoung. A pretty easy call there, but still, credit to Van Rukel for making an open field tackle down inside the 20.
Yeah, good hustle by Jaden, not giving up on the play, and he was able to make the tackle. Our outside linebacker there got fooled on the ball fake and was completely out of the play. He's got to stay home on that from now on and make sure he's got contain on that play. That was wide open.
That was DJ Miles, who's the Vincent Ramirez replacement after Vincent got injured in the preseason after the CrossFit Games. Of course, we hope that he's back and ready to go as they're going to move, I believe it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which makes it about 1st and 6 or so.
1st and 12.
Oh, they're going 15 yards from the spot?
Well, I think,
not sure that's correct.
5, 10, they did go 15. You're right, Emery. They're going to come back and mark it.
They're going to remark it.
Yeah, they're going to redo it.
1st and 7.
Yeah, Coach Harms sees it down there. Coach Harms didn't look like he needed to do that to spring his quarterback for a big game.
No, like Doug had said up there, man, we got completely fooled. We went with that fake, and our linebacker really got sucked in. That was wide open, but yeah, big plus for the Indians there with the penalty.
It is 1st and 6. They move it 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Here's a little backwards pass to Van Zee, getting him out in space. Big cut there for him. Makes a tackle inside the 30, inside the 20, 10, 5, and touchdown. No flags on the field this time, and Avery Van Zee, the game breaker, on a little swing pass from Gustafson, puts the Dutch on the board first at 6:02 left in the first quarter. 6-0 Pella. This is just simple play design, good blocking out in front.
Yeah, it is simple. They got 3 backs back there in almost every play. They're leading the two backs in front of them, and we just didn't have enough guys over there. Once we got a flow to the ball much better than that. Once we see is Van Zee swinging out like that.
Van Zee's going to be seeing a lot of the ball, I would imagine, in this ball game. And you're right there, the big play comes up about 48 yards on the touchdown. Extra point going to be on the way. A low snap. It's put down by Ware. The kick is on the way, and it is good. 7-0 Pella about halfway through the first quarter. Oski will get it back after this quick break. You're listening and watching Oskaloosa football on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Welcome back in. We are live from the Lacey Recreation Complex. Pella puts the first points up on the board. 6:02 left first quarter. A big play on about a 48-yard swing pass to Avery Van Zee. He does all the rest to get into the end zone. 7-0 Pella. Oski about to get it back. Doug, you mentioned it. There's a lot of screwy things Pella's doing, but this is a much different looking offense than what Oskaloosa has seen the last couple of years from the Dutch.
Yeah, we heard some rumors this week that they were running this diamond, and it's really tough to defend because they're just sending a wave at you with the 2 backs in front every time, and they'll even have the quarterback keep it here in a second, and they'll have 3 guys running ahead of him. So Pella's kind of got us on our heels right now.
Yeah, they're just overloading one side. We got more men than you. That's what we want. So here's the kickoff. Oskaloosa going to be receiving inside the 5-yard line. Maybe break to the near side and cutting up the field across the 30, across the 40, gets by another defender. He's inside the 30 and getting pushed out of bounds is Tucker Nunnikoven. We talk about it. We missed his athleticism last year, did Oskaloosa, although they did have a successful 7-win year. But just overall an excellent play by a guy who it's the first time he touches the football in a game in almost 2 years.
Yeah, nice job by the special teams for Oskaloosa there. They got a good blocking, everybody getting a hat on somebody. And Nunnikoven cuts it up through the seam there, and he saw daylight. He had one man to beat.
Nunnikoven able to pick up big yardage and give Oskaloosa pretty much where they were when their last drive ended at the 37 in Pella territory. A good tackle to save the touchdown that time by Dalton Chapman, but Oskaloosa's offense in business. 1st and 10 from the Pella 37, 5:52 left first quarter, 7-0 Pella the lead. In the shotgun, here's Howard, read option, fakes the handoff, keeps it, gets to the 35, and it spun down to about the 34-yard line. And we talk about it with these Pella defenders. A lot of these guys play offense too, so maybe fatigue will become a factor as the game wears on, especially if you keep running the ball.
They do. They have a lot of guys playing both ways. Oskaloosa has 4 going both ways, so maybe they can wear them down a little bit. But look for some quick slants to come in here from Oskaloosa.
Another fake.
He might go to Nunnekoven right here. His guy is playing soft on him. Just a quick snap and get the ball to number 5.
Cole Henry is also out wide here to the near side. But yeah, here's Howard. He's back to pass. He's going to go deep. He's looking for Howard, or Henry rather, but misses him wide of the mark, out of bounds. I saw right what you said, though. It was Ware that actually ended up picking up Nunnekoven as a safety. So that throw not necessarily was there as wide open as it looked at the line of scrimmage. But I noticed Henry comes into the game, a big 6'7" target, and Howard wasted no time targeting it.
Yeah, he went for the big target there. But like I was mentioning, if they stay into that, Oskaloosa needs to check out and hit just a quick pop over to Nunnekoven there and let him turn it upfield. If Chapman can get a block on his defender there, that play can go.
Yeah, they're in a similar setup this time with 4 wide receivers and 1 back. It's Hill alongside Howard. It's going to be a design run for him. He runs right into the back of Hill and is taken down. A loss of 2, and that'll bring up a 4th and 10. Again, Oskaloosa's offense sputtering here on 3rd down.
Yeah, I think what we wanted there, guys, just get a few yards and try to go and at least get 3 out of this possession. But now with that play there by Pella, looks like we're going to have to go for it again.
Well, exactly, Coach Harms. Aaron Blum's got a big leg, but he doesn't have this big a leg. And here we go on 4th and about 10 for Oskaloosa. They're going to kick. Yep, it's going to be a quick kick, backing up a couple of yards and a quick little pooch punt. Nobody back, but it will not be a friendly bounce and go all the way to the end zone for a touchback. So the net yardage is really going to only be about 17 yards gained for Oskaloosa there on the quick kick attempt by Howard. And Pella's offense will come back and take over from the 20. Doug, your thoughts necessarily on is Coach Dinkins just not really opening the playbook at this point while he's young in this first quarter?
I think so. I think they're given every possibility to trying to run the ball, and they're finding out that Pella's up front is just too good up front, and their linebackers are too good. Somehow we've got to beat them defensive backs and get some one-on-ones.
Here is another little quick throw over to Van Zee on the first play. He'll cut it up, and again, a big seam he finds, and he's got about 13 and a half, maybe 14 yards. He's a quick player. We knew he was going to have the ball an awful lot, but you mentioned it. They just overload one side of the field and just try to run over whoever's in their way.
Well, and so that means our backside guys have got to pursue better on that play. Now, when you do that, you open yourself up to some type of counteraction, but our backside players and our safeties got to step up in there, maybe crowd the line a little bit here and try to make some plays up closer to the line.
Ware is the lone receiver out to the far side. Ball on the far side hash from our vantage point. Here's another snap. This is just a straight handoff to Van Zee. Not much there, and Oskaloosa's run defense continues to be strong. Blake Van Veldhuizen lost his hat in the middle of that, but just a gain of about 1 for Van Zee. Conventional runs have not necessarily worked for Pella, but it's when they've tried to get to the edge that they've gotten some success.
Yeah, they've been able to. They're still working the inside a little bit, but yeah, those quick swings, they're getting outside. And like I just mentioned, our backside linebackers and our safety has to fill up in there quicker and make the tackle. You can't afford to miss tackles against this type of offense.
Blake Van Veldhuizen has to come out for at least a play because the helmet came off. He'll be back in there shortly. Van Zee out to the slot on the left side, or on the near side, now going deep again, looking for Ware, and again, this one even farther overthrown. We mentioned we're not going to see a lot of passing from Gustafson tonight, but all 3 of his bombs have been wide of the mark by a little bit.
Well, the early scouting report's holding true. I'm not sure Avery's touchdown was even a pass. It might have been a lateral.
Yeah, I think it was.
Play. So their downfield passing game does not look to be very effective, and that's kind of what we thought. We just got to be able to step up in there and stop this power running attack.
3rd and 8 from the 35-yard line, far side hash. The diamond again is Van Zee into the slot to the near side. And here's going to be a snap to Gustafson. He rolls to the right, looking to throw, fires it over the middle, through the hands of his intended target that time. He was looking over the middle for Nick DeYoung, but ended up going off his hands a little wide of the mark on the run, and Oskaloosa will force another punt.
Nice throw by Gustafson on the run to his right, rolling to his right. That's the talented junior tight end, Nick DeYoung there, coming across the field.
He's a big boy.
Good play by Pella, just couldn't pull it in there. Once again, the throw was a little high.
We'll see the Coach Jay Harms curveball coming here, likely from the punter. Back to kick is Gabe Thomas. Thomas takes a little bit of a high snap, and this one a little bit more air under it, a little bit more conventional catch at the 27-yard line for Miller. He tries to get outside, gets away from a trip attempt, and he's going to get to about the 37 before being brought down by a couple of players. Coach Harms, you're down there. The wind looks like the flag's going a little bit towards us from the Pella sideline near us. How's it feel on field level?
Yep, you're right on, Emery. Blowing right out of the east. Pretty stiff, actually, down there. Kind of surprised by that a little bit. Hey, you know, kind of tells you how kind of big game this is. I was just talking to Dave Bingham down here, the Ankeny softball coach, who does coverage for Channel 5 News Sports, and so he's down here covering the game tonight for Channel 5.
Coach, I see Coach Jenkins has got the chalkboard out over there at the bench. He is fantastic at making adjustments. If you get a chance, if Oski can move it down here, maybe eavesdrop and see what the adjustments they might make there.
All right, I'll head down there, guys.
All right, Coach Harms on the scene. 5 wide receivers for Howard. He comes out of it. He rolls to the right. He's got plenty of time. Steps into a deep throw, looking down the field. Jump ball, and that's almost caught by Van Zee, who made an unreal attempt to kind of adjust while the ball was in the air. Oskaloosa looked like there was 4 verts there, Doug.
Yeah, there's what I was talking about. We got to beat him off the line. Here's the replay. It looked like Tanner broke open on his guy, but Seth had tucked the ball down and started rolling right. That's not a good throw in this situation on first down. In fact, that was a wounded duck going up there.
Yeah, it was a duck. Van Zee nearly pulled it down, though. Just could not quite hang on as he went to the ground. Oski, again, will go with 5 wide. So it's taken out the whole backfield read option kind of idea that wasn't working for Oskaloosa so far. Howard back to throw again. This time he's under pressure and under duress, and he is going to get away from the first hit, and he's going to roll to his right, looks downfield, fires. He's got a couple of guys open, caught, and that's Chapman inside the 30 to about the 26. That's a broken play, Doug, but that's the kind of play that you can maybe get your offense going.
Boy, and what a throw on the run and way to get away from the run. But Pella drops out of the press coverage and goes soft on that. I'm not sure why they did that. It maybe it's because it was second long and they were looking for the pass, but they can drop out of their press coverage, which has been very effective, which they're back into now.
They go back to a one-back look. Howard quickly to the line, takes the snap, hands it to Hill right off the bat. There's a flag on the line of scrimmage, so that maybe makes you think if somebody on either side was not set, because Oski wanted to go with the quick hit to try to catch Pella off guard. We'll see what the call is down on the field.
And they did catch him off guard. They had a nice gain there, a 5-yard gain. It looked like on first down, so.
It's either an offside or it's Oskaloosa did not get set. We'll have to see. Waiting on the white hat official, the referee, to make a call. He's still talking.
Yeah, hey guys, I got over there, listened to Coach Jenkins a little bit and what he was talking about, kind of what you were talking about upstairs there about Avery, you know, not letting him get to the outside on the little quick pass, lateral, whatever you want to call it, and then also telling our linebackers that you know, we're getting kind of sucked in there, that we've got to be a help, we got to stay home and you know, play where you're supposed to be.
Well, the game plan now has firmly shifted on number 8 in white when they have the football, but Oskaloosa is going to get called for an illegal motion, so they did not get set. You have to have everybody set prior to the snap, so that was the penalty. So it's 1st and 15 at the Pella 32. And again, 1 back, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Ball on the far side hash for Howard in the shotgun. Once again, takes the snap, another handoff, and again a spear tackle right up the gut. Outstanding work right there by Tyler Vandermolen, who was able to come off the ball real quick and make a tackle for a loss of 3.
Yeah, Oskaloosa, that penalty, 5-yard penalty, took away a 5-yard gain, so now they're in 2nd and long. Let's see if Pella softens their coverage. No, it looks like they're going to, this time they're going to stay with their press coverage on the outside players.
2nd and 18. They don't really have anybody super deep here, but I'm sure some of these linebackers, if they see one thing that they like, they're going to drop straight back into coverage to man the middle of the field. Looks like they're in a straight man look right now. 4 wide once again with 1 back. Here's the snap to Howard, looking to throw. Quickly fires it, looking for Cruz. Cruz tried a one-handed catch.
Got a pass interference, yep.
Yep, and a couple of flags down. Coach Harms all over it. But there was a lot of contact there, and this one much more catchable than the previous attempt to Henry.
Yeah, nice throw by Howard. Good job by Cruz. What Pella is doing is they are taking away our slant game. by playing up close, we've got to be able to take some shots like that to loosen them up. And look for Tanner if they come and press on him on a go route straight down the field. But they're taking away our slant game and trying to make us go deep.
Well, we'll see. Now both teams are kind of wandering back to where the original line of scrimmage was. So now they're going to bring it back down there. So it is going to be a pass interference on Pella. So that'll be 15 from the spot. And that'll bring it to the 20-yard line is where they have it spotted.
Second.
The ball is on the 20.
And that should remain second down, because that would not be an automatic first down.
Break for the Indians there on the pass interference.
That brings up a 2nd and 3 all of a sudden. It's not like the collegiate game, or it is like the collegiate game, not like the pros where it's a spot foul and an automatic first down regardless of where it occurs. As DeCock now goes in motion to the far side, it is going to be a quick handoff. Hill's got some space up the middle, inside the 15, inside the 10. He's inside the 5 and down to the 1, and that is the first time Casey Hill's actually found a seam there. Good work by the offensive line.
Well, we talked about it earlier. I'll look on the replay here, but I think it was a little bit of a cutback action to the left here, and that's exactly what it was. He cut back against the overplay on the right side and was able to break it there. So good job by Casey reading the hole to the backside.
Here's a quick little sneak up the middle for a touchdown. Real quick snap and diving in for the score gives Oskaloosa their first touchdown of the 2017 season, and they're an extra point away from tying the ball game, but it was the Hill run that set it all up. We also have to give credit to Tucker Nunnekoven for a great return to set up the offense in good shape.
Yeah, good response by the Indians there. We needed that to stay in the ball game, so let's put this through, and we got a 7-7 game, and it's just what we thought it was going to be, a great football game so far tonight.
Tyler Miller late to get on the field for the field goal unit, but he is out there and ready to go. Aaron Blom, the excellent sophomore kicker, is out there for the extra point attempt. It is on the way, and it is good. 7-7 our score with 1:31 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a quick break and be back with Oskaloosa tying the ball game up against Pella. You're listening and watching it live on the No Coast Network.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
Oskaloosa picks up 7 points in a quick response, big kickoff return by Tucker Nunnekoven and a big run by Casey Hill. Helped, of course, by a pass interference call against Pella on 2nd and long, but Oskaloosa able to get the score, and it's 7-all with 91 seconds to go here in the first quarter. An exciting first quarter, exactly what we were hoping to see here, Doug.
Yeah, let's not forget Chapman's catch on Howard's breaking a couple tackles and rolling right. Howard is the most dangerous when he is running with the option to pass in this offense.
Here we go with Aaron Blom to kick off. 1:31 to go in the first quarter, and Blom's kick is a good one. Way back into the end zone. They'll just watch it go. A touchback. Don't see it all the time, but Oskaloosa, they have one of the best kicking situations you would figure in the state of Iowa with the sophomore Blom, who's got the big boot, and it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Little Dutch.
Emory, I think this is a huge possession right here for the Indians. If their defense can step up right here, it'll give them confidence. It'll also force Pella to punt from fairly deep in their own territory. So this is a big series of downs for both teams.
Oskaloosa defensively looking to make some of those adjustments that Coach Harms was talking about earlier. They're going to be really keying in on Avery Van Zee out of the backfield. Gustafson's going to have that 3-back set alongside him with 2 on either side of him. Van Zee's going to split out to the far side slot. The snap, and this is going to be a fake handoff. He's got it, and a good job. Van Bilheisen cleans it up, but it looked as though the first man in there was Kenny Satimi, the first time we've called his name, a guy with high upside for the Indians.
Hey, sophomore, young kid. He's got a good motor. He's good size. He has good feet for a big guy. So Kenny Satimi in there doing a job. You can see him pacing back and forth. He's an intense player for the Indians, and that's a good start right there.
That wind really whipping from the far sideline to the near side. It is going to be a one wide receiver as it's been all game long. 2nd and 9 from the 21. Again, Van Zee splits out this time to the far side. Two backs alongside Gustafson. He's going to handle one of them, trying to bust it up the middle and finding some space. There's a flag in the middle of it as well, so this is likely coming back. A good run by Reese Snell, but it looks like it's coming back.
Well, and we had it defended well. He just somehow snuck through there. What we started doing on that possession right there was we shifted our middle linebacker a little bit farther to the outside, took our weak side linebacker and moved him in behind our backside tackle and trying to thwart off that front side power game of Pella.
The penalty is against the Dutch.
And it is indeed a holding call. What are you seeing down there, Coach?
Yeah, that was on Blake Van Veldhuizen. He practically got tackled on that. That's why I saw Blake laying on the ground.
And Blake would probably lead the state in holds against if they kept a statistic for that.
Not a bad stat to be leading in if they had one. No. About 40 seconds to go here, first quarter, 2nd and 16 after the penalty. There's a spot foul, of course, 10 yards from the spot. Van Zee again out into the slot to the far side. Gustafson looking to throw, fires it short. This is to Van Zee, makes the catch, and is brought down. A good tandem tackle there by Oskaloosa. And Nunnekoven among those in on the stop. Looks like also Cole Kraber. We mentioned his name, but it looks like Nunnekoven a little shaken up after the collision.
Left forearm, it looks like, so. Tucker coming back after a year being out.
Chapman's going to come in for him. It looks like he's going to be able to come off on his own power, but Nunnekoven's going to hustle it off.
I think it's got maybe a little ding in the elbow there and a little tingling going through the arms right now.
Well, he's going to come off the field, and it is 3rd and 11.
Big play right here. I think if you're Oskaloosa, you got to stay set, stay home, and know where the first down sticks are at.
We're going to have to wait for that play. Looks like Pella's going to be okay letting the clock run out here in the first quarter before we switch sides. And that'll end the first quarter. Oskaloosa and Pella tied at 7-all. We're going to take a short break and come back with the second quarter. Oskaloosa and Pella 7 apiece right here on the No Coast Network.
For over 35 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in bringing your printing ideas to life with quality equipment, modern facilities, and a skilled staff. Whether it's a business card or a postcard, a book or brochure, and everything in between, Pella Printing applies old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to deliver the finished piece you envision. And they'll even mail it for you. Call 877-628-4941 or stop in off exit 40 behind Ulrich Motor in Pella. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Oskaloosa looking for a big stop here as Pella's going to have it on 3rd and 11 from their own 19-yard line. 12 minutes on the clock to start the second quarter. 7-7 our score. Thanks for joining us. We'll get to our scores from our area. Titus back in our studios and the No Coast Network studios giving us some score updates. We'll get to those in just a second with other area games happening. But first, we'll get this play as Oskaloosa's defense looking to try to continue to hold themselves right here. They could get good field position if they can get Pella off the field. It'll be Van Zee, the deep back in that diamond formation, just one wide receiver to the near side. It's Gustafson in that pistol, and now it's a shotgun with Van Zee splitting out to the far side. Here is the snap. Gustafson looking to throw. Got some time, throws over the middle, and that is a good play made, but flags are down. Keaton DeCock was there on the coverage as Curtis Ware came across on a little bit of a 10-yard in, but looks like they are going to say that DeCock got there just a little bit quick. Let's see the replay here, Doug.
Yeah, let's see. It was a slant route. Keaton did a good job reading it and was getting there.
Yeah, it's a tough call on Keaton.
Wow, I thought that surprised me, that call.
Yeah, Coach, it looked like from the replay that we had a chance to see, he got there right as the ball got there, but sometimes it just looks like that to an official, and we got to remember it's week 1 for these officials as well, so that'll mark off the penalty, which will give first down and 10 after the 15-yard penalty. That's a tough break for DeCock and for the Oskaloosa defense, and it'll be 1st and 10 now from the Pella 34-yard line.
Yeah, that's like a turnover right there. Instead of 4th down and Pella punting, Pella gets the first down on the interference call, which in my book, was very questionable.
It'll be 1st and 10, again in that diamond formation. This time, a little bit of a different shift that Pella's using back there, and it'll be a handoff to Van Zee going off right guard. He has to bounce it outside, nothing doing, and a nice hit to finish it off by Oskaloosa. Among those in on the play was Jared Cruz, also joined by Keegan Butler.
So the Oskaloosa defense looks like they've made some little adjustments here.
Big time adjustments.
Slowing down. Pella does not look like they're ready to break every play for a touchdown right now.
And the thing with Van Zee is that's the first time he's touched the ball in a while. So Oskaloosa doing a good job of at least keying in on him. Chapman remains out there as the cornerback, directly on Ware, the lone wide receiver, with that diamond formation, same shift. One of the fullbacks goes to the other side. This will be a little counter action. Right there, Oskaloosa, perfect read.
Nice job by Nick Dykstra sitting down at that defensive end and coming in and making the tackle. So the Oskaloosa defense is really stepping up here.
Oh, and he was right at home, and no white jerseys even touched him off the line of scrimmage. So, with that being the case, that brings up 3rd and 12 now from Pella's own 32, ball on the far side hash. And one more chance on 3rd and long for the Oski defense to try to get off the field.
We got to watch Van Zee. He's a burner out here. Keaton's probably going to have to help over the top on Van Zee.
Van Zee is coming into the slot. And the snap. Here is Gustafson, and he's in trouble. Dykstra gets the sack inside the 20. What a defensive... What a great defensive series there for Nick Dykstra.
And he was impressive in the scrimmage against Centerville. Look, he takes an outside rush, staying on the outside. He's got contain out there.
That's just a bad play by Gustafson, kind of rolling his direction.
Yeah, Nick really needs to be just a hair farther outside, make sure that quarterback does not roll outside of him. But a good play by Dykstra, 2 good plays by Dykstra, and Oskaloosa should get good field position.
That was a loss of 12 on the play, and now the punt by Thomas. Thomas with the left boot under pressure this time, and he'll get it away. A high kick toward the sideline, a beautiful punt, and Miller has to get away from it. Ware will be down there to help down it at the 22. What a kick by Gabe Thomas.
Yeah, he rolled out, and when you do that rugby punt, I think you open yourself up to contact. Oskaloosa had 2 guys getting close there. I'd like to see one of them go ahead and clock him when they get that close and make him think about getting rid of the kick a little bit quicker.
You gotta make sure you don't get that roughing call though, Doug. And William Penn runs the same kind of rugby punt, and they absolutely do that. But they also tell their guy, see if you have some space, and maybe you can get back to the line of scrimmage or even pick up the first down. So, anywho, Oskaloosa football at their own 21 after a fantastic punt by Thomas. 4 wide receivers and 1 back, with, once again, Seth Howard, the quarterback, making his Indian debut. Again, momentarily, we will go through some of our scores in our listening area. 2 wide receivers to each side, ball on the near side hash, a design run right up the middle. Howard breaks a tackle. He's across the 30, gets a block. He's at the 40, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds by Curtis Ware, but not before he gets to the 49-yard line. A pickup of 28 yards, and a good job by Howard. Coach Arms, you saw it down there. A great job by the offensive line on the draw play.
Great blocks. They sustained their blocks. That was the key on that nice run by Seth.
Well, Chapman did a great job of not getting called for a block in the back there. Would have been easy to call it on him.
And Hill's going to get a nice power run here across midfield to about the 44 in Pella territory. A nice pickup of 7. While the Indians get back to the line quickly, Knoxville leads Sheraton 7-0. Washington over Albia 13-0. Pleasantville really putting it on EBF in the second quarter, 33-0. PCM over Pella Christian 14-10. And Pekin over Sigourney Kyoto 7-0. Just some of our scores here in our listening area. A flag on the snap here as Hill breaks a tackle inside the 40 rather, down to the 35. But we'll see what the flag is. It's either going to be a motion on Oskaloosa or it's going to be a neutral zone infraction here, and it's hard to tell on the replay what exactly that penalty is going to be, so we'll have to take a look here on the field. But another nice pickup by Hill regardless.
Well, we got to get Seth.
That's what I think it is. I didn't see anybody in the neutral zone for sure.
Cruz pointing it's against Pella. So do you take you would take the play, obviously.
You would take the play, yeah. We'll see what it is. The referee coming out.
He's going to pick his flag up.
Well, it doesn't appear that there will be a penalty after all. So, going to throw Casey Hill his towel back.
Oskaloosa kind of overpowering the Ducks.
Oh, no, it is illegal motion on Oskaloosa. So it was, the Indians were not set. Oh, so they're offset penalties. One was in the neutral zone, and Oskaloosa was not set. So we will just toss out what we just saw, and we'll have another 2nd and 3.
Well, that was a nice run for Oskaloosa up the middle, but they're really starting to loosen the Dutch up. Look for Howard to take a shot with Cruz on the outside here pretty quick.
Yep, we got Cole Henry here on our side, guys.
Yeah, they went at Henry with a deep throw first time he was out on the field. This time he's on the opposite side of Howard.
Well, I like that. What we got, Avery. Is that Avery?
Yep, Avery's on.
Henry.
Yep, Avery's on Cole.
And I like that because they're wasting a speed guy on. And Cole, no offense to Cole, but he's not the fastest guy in the world.
He's absolutely going to out jump Avery Van Zee. So we'll see what they look at as both number 8s lined up against each other here on the near side. Again, 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side for Oskaloosa on 2nd down, and it looks like there is going to be
official timeout.
Timeout, Pella.
Pella will call a timeout. Coach Harm's all over it. We will take a quick break and be back with more just inside 9 minutes to play first half. 7-7 our score. Oskaloosa driving on the No Coast Network.
It's more than a shopping center, it's the heart of downtown Oskaloosa. Located just off the square, Penn Central Mall has what you and your family are looking for. Need a last-minute gift? We've got those at Penn Central Mall. Need a little wardrobe update? Come see us at Penn Central Mall. Need a host site for an event or meeting? Think Penn Central Mall. We have tables, we have chairs, and we have the right amount of space to ensure your event is fun for all. Stop by Penn Central Mall to shop and stay to plan your next event with us. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Out of the timeout, that is just the first timeout burned by Pella. They have 2 left in the first half. Oski has all 3 of theirs so far. Let's go ahead before we get to the 2nd and 3 play. It is Linville Sully 13, Colfax Mingo nothing early. North Mahaska trailing Belle Plaine 35-6. Tri-County trailing Lone Tree 42-0 in the second quarter. And Twin Cedars and Waco going back and forth. Waco leading 34-28 in the second as well. So those are all the scores we have so far in the first half. And we'll give you more of those when we get in halftime. But first, 2nd and 3 for Oskaloosa at the Pella 44. Ball on the near side hash. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, including the Cole Henry, Avery Van Zee matchup nearest to us here toward the Oskaloosa sideline.
And Pella goes into a 50 press. They're all up on the line except for a safety and 1 linebacker. If you can, Tanner could run a streak route right here and get a touchdown.
Well, that safety can only go to one side, so we'll see what they do on 2nd and 3. Howard with 1 back in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, and he's looking to throw. Looking to his left. He fires it down the field, one-on-one down there, trying to make an adjustment. A flag comes down.
There's that shot at Cruz again. The big guy's tough to handle. They've been working throughout the summer on that back shoulder throw. That was actually intended to be to his back shoulder and not leading. So good job by those guys. A little extra work in the summer pays off.
And what he's trying to do there, why that's something he's trying to do, is he's either going to come back to the football and be open to make the catch and maybe make a run after the catch, or he's going to be able to draw that penalty. So it should be 15 from the spot. A good job on the throw by Howard, helping Cruz draw the penalty.
I think they're going to call it on Oskaloosa.
Really?
Do we have a replay on that?
Well, the officials are taking a very long time each and every time they are discussing this. Yeah, it is. I would guess if we see a wide receiver, Jared May, what they look for on the offensive player regardless is extension with the hands, and they look to see if the defensive player got his head around. But that's the second call that is really 50-50 that has gone against Oskaloosa in the game. You would hope those kind of even out as the game wears on.
Well, let's hope so. But yeah, you're right. On that short ball, you got to be careful as a receiver. You don't take your arm and
push him
past you.
Which is kind of like a rebound in basketball sometimes. Let a guy go past you to give yourself as much room as possible. So we'll see if Oskaloosa can make an adjustment now, as it is now 2nd and 18 after the 15-yard penalty against the Indians. 4 wide receivers. Howard again looking to throw. This one a little more of a quick out. This is going to be Tanner DeCock, rather. Makes a couple of guys miss across midfield, and he's going to get back to where the line of scrimmage was prior to this. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Great effort by DeCock after the catch.
Nice throw by Howard, getting the ball out to DeCock in the flat. He was able to break a couple tackles and get a nice gain. Good job by Tanner.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 3, very manageable 3rd down here. Still same formation. Hill, the lone back to the left of Howard with 2 wide receivers to each side. Howard takes the snap, hands it to Hill. He goes straight up the gut. He's got the first down inside the 40 to the 39. That is all Oskaloosa working in the offseason, and now they're starting to get to move the ball a little bit on the ground.
Yeah, they almost look, sorry, Coach, it looks like they're physically starting to move Pella away.
And I was going to say they went on a quick snap too, guys, which you talked earlier about that. Kind of mix it up a little bit.
First down is
It'll be marked just inside the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 with 8 minutes to go, 7-7 the score here in the first half. Howard takes the snap out of the shotgun, looking downfield again. He'll step up, still looking. Now he'll fire it deep again, going for Cruz. That's over his head. But he's really trusting Cruz because the coverage has been really good on that side both times. A great job by Ian Vecina. Both times they've gone to Cruz the last couple of times.
Well, nice job by our left tackle here, Tucker Irwin. Look at him get his feet, push him on outside. Seth steps up in the pocket, throws it. Cruz has the best hands on the team, so he needs to just give him a chance to catch the ball.
And Ware was kind of floating that direction as well, so that was almost double coverage. So Howard really giving him some trust, but he overthrew it, so nobody had a chance to make a play on it. 2nd and 10 from inside the 40, 7-7.
I was going to say, guys, Nunnekoven has not been back in since he went out. We got a different slot receiver in there right now.
Do you think he got a stinger with the way he was holding his arm?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, the way he come off kind of shaking his arm a little bit and kind of holding it.
Here's Howard. He's rolling to his right. He's not looking to throw. He's just looking to try to do something down the field. It took a while to, and that is going to be a big hit out of bounds, but it doesn't look like any flag is thrown as Oskaloosa sideline really erupted after that play. But it looked like the wide receiver that coach was just mentioning, Dylan Van Leuven, who was out there, he didn't really know what was happening. He was kind of standing there waiting for it wasn't until Howard told him to go that he would try to throw a block.
And Henry basically just ran down the field and stood in front of his guy, so that was, they thought it was a called run all the way.
Either way, and it looks like
the Pella coaches are wanting to get a penalty on Van Belhuizen. Oskaloosa did not know what they were running there.
Oh, almost a great catch by Henry, and there's all sorts of action happening. I was watching, you were talking the far sideline, those guys were really looking for a penalty call, and then Oskaloosa snaps it quickly and throws it to Henry. He almost made a great catch.
It was, but what Pella is saying is that Tucker Irwin is stepping back off the line of scrimmage, and they want a penalty called on that. Cruz did not know what the play was. He was asking to signal in again on that possession.
All right, well, 4th down and no man's land again. Oski's going to at least show they're going for it, and now Howard takes a couple steps back. Looks like another pooch kick coming. And it is going to be a pooch kick, but a flag down on the play. This one, not a good kick either from Howard, but we'll see exactly what the penalty is, which could fully affect.
Now, if it's against Pella encroachment, that's 5 yards, and Oskaloosa will probably go for it.
Go for it, yeah. But the way Oskaloosa's coaching staff is reacting is that it is not that penalty. So we'll see. The ball went out of bounds at about the 22-yard line after the punt. Another maybe 16-yard change if it stands as called.
And Seth, I think, and he's probably told where to line up, but in my opinion, you need to get a little more depth on that. He about kicked it into the back of his lineman on that pooch punt and give himself a little bit of room.
It is an illegal formation or a procedure penalty on Oskaloosa one way or the other, so they're just hold on to the penalty or the ball where the spot is, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Pella at their own 22. So a little bit of sloppy play from both sides here the last couple of drives, and we still have a 7-7 game with 7:34 to go there. Coach, are you seeing down there exactly what these procedure calls are?
No, I'm not, guys. I'm kind of baffled here. I was standing by Mr. Parker, and we're just talking about that.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on it because that's about the 4th one that's been called on Oskaloosa. As Van Zee again will come out into the near side, but Gustafson goes the other way and finds Ware, who makes a nice catch on a little slant route, and he's going to get a 1st down across the 35 to the 36. Curtis Ware is the only guy they have listed as a wide receiver, and they've only gone to him a couple of times, but he does seem like he can handle being the lone receiver out there.
He does. That was a nice route, a little slant route, and a nice throw by Gustafson right on line, and 1st down for Pella.
1st and 10 on the far side hash as they go from our right to left. For our radio listeners at home, we appreciate you for joining us. About 7:20 to go here in the first half. Pella coming to the line of scrimmage with a 1st and 10 at their own 36. Nunnekoven is back in the game. He is lined up right across from Ware on this particular play. Gustafson will take the snap. He rolls to his right. Again, under pressure, but a nice little screen pass. He's got himself a little bit of room and getting across midfield at the 48-yard line. A nice run again by Reese Schnell. That's the 2nd time he's had the ball in his hands. The 1st time was wiped out by a penalty. This time, he got a lot of space, and he is a hard runner.
Well, nice play by Pella. They show overload to the right side and then throw the screen left there. And he had a convoy of blockers, but pretty decent job by Oskaloosa Oskaloosa to slide through there.
Yeah, and a good tackle by Jaden Van Rukel, along with Miles and Keaton DeCock, who were able to make the tackle for Oskaloosa. It is at the Indian 48, though, and Pella is often showing signs of life with 6:40 to go here in the first half. 7-7 our score. Ware split out to the near side, the short side of the field. Again, that diamond formation, a quick snap. This is a little counter handoff to Van Zee, but Dykstra is there as well as Tanner DeCock. So no gain on the play. They've really keyed in on Van Zee since we saw them talking with that adjustment Coach Harms reported on in the first quarter.
Yeah, nice job by Tanner there. He read it and was able to slice up and make the tackle for no gain.
So no gain, and with 6:10 to go, it'll be second and maybe 11. At about the 49-yard line, and Pella again, Ware splits out. He goes to the Young side this time on the far side of the field, and that diamond with Van Zee, the deep back. Gustafson will send him in motion to the near side. Gustafson will take the snap, and he looks to throw to Ware's side. Same exact route. A great catch made after a tip at the line of scrimmage. This one behind him, but a good catch by Ware in traffic, and a pickup of about 5.
Yeah, it looked like Cruz might have got a finger on that one and floated in there. Nice catch on the play. And a good tackle there, I think it was by DeYoung.
If Ware turns out to be a big playmaker for them, they may not be too bad off offensively.
They're not bad. I mean, we're watching two good football teams here tonight.
All right, so with 3rd and 5 here, an interesting spot on the field as well. Ware to the near side. They'll send Van Zee into the slot on the near side as well. Gustafson will take the snap. He looks to Van Zee, a little screen pass to him, and he makes a man miss. He's inside the 40, inside the 35, and is tripped up by Nunakoven at about the 30. But you can kind of see that happening. It looks like we got a flag here on the near side of the field. We'll see if that calls us back.
Well, I'm not sure what happened here. Our linebacker didn't close there. Cole Kraber quite quick enough. He's got to go for his legs. It might have been a push in the back. Well,
it's down the field, but we'll see what the call is. The flag was thrown right around the first down marker at about the 37, 38-yard line, and it's been picked up since. And we're still waiting for a signal.
Now they're going to probably
call a hold on us, I think. Pass interference. We were holding
the receiver?
Yep, wide receiver, yep.
It was a pass play, so that would be a holding on the defense, and they probably would pick that flag up and just take the play, you would imagine.
It would be 15 from the...
Well, again, the high school and college rules are a little bit different. I believe you can take the play, and that would not be something that would be added to the end of the play.
No, but you could take it from the line of scrimmage.
They're going to call pass interference, not a hold. So if it's pass interference, it is the 15. If it was a hold, I think it's only a 10-yard penalty. So
15 from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so they'll take the 15. It's roughly the same yardage, just about maybe 1 or 2 yards more for Pella after the play. So with 5:05 to go here in the second quarter, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dutch at the Oski 28-yard line. Ware will go to the far side of the field, ball on the near side hash.
Oskaloosa is doing something they did not do all of last year, and that is they're making some penalties.
Here is a rollout to the right side. Gustafson looking for Ware. DeYoung is there as well, and he breaks it up. A nice play by DeYoung in man-to-man coverage. That time they were just trying to catch the Indians off guard with the go route.
Wow, great coverage by Alex DeYoung as Gustafson rolls right. Dykstra in hot pursuit.
And that was the only route on the play. Nobody else was even in a pattern out there.
Look at the coverage by DeYoung. He gets his hand, high points it. He almost was going to pull that down one-handed. Great coverage by Alex DeYoung.
He had 7 interceptions last year. He is a big-time player on the edge. People test him because he's not the biggest guy, but he plays. He's always in the right spot, and he's always making the smart plays. So 2nd and 10 at the 28. Here is Gustafson, a handoff to Van Zee off right guard, and gets through the first wave, and then it's going to kind of bury his head and get to about the 22-yard line, a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 4. Coach, it's now dark outside. What's the temperature like down there? I see you put on the sweatshirt.
Yeah, it's cooling off, guys. I was kind of laughing. Blake Van Villeisen came off, and he goes right to the referee, and he says, hey, they're holding me, they're holding me. All those defensive linemen, they get held on every play.
Oh, every play. 3rd and 4 here from the 22. Gustafson in the pistol. He'll hand it off to Van Zee again. He's got a little space up the middle. Breaks a tackle from Kraber and spins inside the 15 to the 14. A pickup of about 7.5. That's enough for the first down, and they'll move the chains once again inside the red zone now as Pella. And this is our first real look at a red zone offensive opportunity without the big wide receivers from last year.
Yeah, Oskaloosa was late on their defensive line shift there. Van Veldhuizen was also out of the game. It looks like they may be rotating Keegan Butts, Kenny Satimi, and Van Belheisen, those three in to try to keep them fresh.
1st and 10. Inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line for Pella in a 7-7 game, about 4 minutes to go in the first half. Van Zee splits out to the far side. Here's a snap, a quick handoff. This one is another great run inside the 10, inside the 5 by Reese Schnell. When Schnell takes the football, he just runs a little bit harder than I think Oskaloosa has anticipated.
Yeah, we got to make the tackle right there. Tanner misses the tackle, and then Keaton comes up and gets a leg on him and trips him up, and Blake finishes it off. But
he's a big guy.
Yeah, Tanner has got to wrap around his legs and tackle through his thighs.
Oskaloosa is going to call a timeout here. Coach Arms is on it as the Indians want to take a look at what they have at the goal line before anything happens. We'll take a quick break and be back with more. Pella on the doorstep. Tie ball game late first half on the No Coast Network.
Kevin, meet your father.
Kevin.
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 Trusted advice for life.
Kevin, how's your mom?
Thank you.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Out of the timeout, Oskaloosa looking to try to come up with a stop here. We'd also like to mention, be sure to stick with us for the halftime show. We'll have a special presentation for the raffle giveaway, and that'll be coming up immediately after halftime. And then we'll, of course, take a listen in and check out the Oskaloosa Indian Marching Band, the Marching Indians. That'll be coming up at halftime. We still have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left of the second quarter, and Pella looking to retake the lead. It'll be 1st and goal at about the 2-yard line for the Dutch, and we'll see what kind of personnel they send out there. As mentioned, last year, they had a couple of big, tall wide receivers they were able to target. This year, a little bit different offense. We'll see if they pound it in with Schnell, if they go with Van Zee, or they toss it up on 1-on-1 for Curtis Ware.
Quarterback right behind those runners.
And it's actually Van Zee, a direct snap. A flag's going to come down, and they're going to rule on the field a touchdown. A flag was down. I'm not sure what the flag is, though. The ball did come free. It looks like Pella did recover at the bottom of the pile. Looked like Cade Van Vliet came out of there with the football either way, but a flag from the far side line judge came in, and we'll see what exactly the call would be. Everybody talking about this one.
Well, it's kind of this has been the norm tonight. It's
a lot of flags and a lot of long discussions.
It's been break up the rock pile every time there's a flag on the play here. Let's get this thing going a little bit.
Well, now they're talking to Pella, so I'd imagine they will be discussing what they want to do with the penalty. They might be able to accept the penalty for the conversion attempt, depending on what the penalty is.
Well, and move it closer to the goal line. I don't think they can.
It just depends if it's a dead ball foul or not, but it happened during the play. Here's the referee. And
the call on the field is touchdown.
And it'll be a personal foul, a face mask, which I believe they could do, and they're going to say on the kickoff. So they're going to do the 15-yard penalty on the kickoff, and that will mean Pella's up 13-0 after the little pounded in on the direct snap to Avery Van Zee. And up for the extra point is Caden Miedema. Media lines it up. The snap, the hold by Ware, the kick is on the way, and it is good. The extra point is good. 14-7 now. Oskaloosa trailing by 7, and we have 3:44 to go here left in the second quarter. We'll take a short break and be back with the kickoff after this. Pella 14, Oski 7 on the No Coast Network.
Bates Funeral Chapel presents Fan Appreciation Night at the Oskaloosa Indians' second home game. Pack in Lacey Stadium on September 8th to support your Indians and watch them crush Fort Madison. Bates is giving away a $300 Visa gift card, plus a free one-of-a-kind t-shirt. Every paid entry gets a chance to win. The varsity game kicks off at 7:30 p.m. The Oski Indians versus Fort Madison game on Fan Appreciation Night, September 8th. Presented by Bates Funeral Chapel.
MCG's new gigabit internet is here, and it's a real gig deal!
Connect all your devices, download an HD movie in 7 seconds.
Get unlimited use, no limits, no data caps, and no slowdown.
And stream a video with no buffering ever.
Work, play, create, innovate with MCG Internet.
Call to get your upgrade free for 30 days.
Buffering video, spinning wheels are over.
You deserve the best, and MCG delivers.
45-yard line.
Well, the ball is going to be kicked off at the 45 of Oskaloosa after the 15-yard face mask penalty that was assessed at the kickoff from the touchdown play on the 2-yard touchdown run by Avery Van Zee. 3:44 to go in the first half. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock, Jay Harms down on field level with you with the entire Oskaloosa video production department. Big thanks to Kim Guile, all the kids doing a great job as always here week number 1. Miedema lines it up. Likely going to pound it through the end zone, and he is going to do just that. So with that being the case, Oski will have 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Still plenty of time, Doug, to try to put a drive together here. What do you hope to see with the Indians after that was a pretty long offensive drive for Pella?
Yeah, it was. It was a nice drive for Pella, aided by a couple big penalties, but they did what they had to take the lead. The last 2 times we've played Pella, it's been towards halftime that we've kind of let down a little bit, and Pella was able to separate. So this is a big possession that we get at least 1 or 2 first downs to run the clock, because if we kick it back to Pella, they could put another one up on us.
Oski in line to receive the second half kick, but we're not thinking about that yet. 3:44 to go. 3 wide receivers in formation to the left side, or pardon, to the near side, the right side of the formation. Cruz, the lone receiver, to the far side. It is Howard in the shotgun with Hill to his right. 1st and 10 at their own 20. Here's the snap, quick handoff. Hill tries to cut it back, and he is caught immediately. Excellent job on the tackle. First man in there was Cade Van Vliet.
Pella with 2 timeouts, Oskaloosa still with 2 timeouts, so I think this is a dangerous time for Oskaloosa. Pella, when they play their press coverage, has had a lot of success. It's when they loosen up is where they get in trouble. Oskaloosa looks confused again on offense.
Here is the snap with 3 wide receivers again in a bunch formation to the near side. They'll come that direction. It's caught by Keaton DeCock across the 20 to about the 23 before being brought down out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at 3:08. The tackle was made by Reese Schnell.
Well, nice catch there by Tanner. Once again, Howard getting the ball out. I kind of like the call. It's a safe call there for the Indians, but we need to get a first down here on a 3rd down 7.
3rd down and 7, and this clock is stopped currently. And if Oski doesn't get this first down, Coach McKinstry likely will burn one of his 2 timeouts to save as much time as possible. And it looks as though a flag is going to be down. I'm not sure.
Casey Hill had a thing around his wrist.
Did they not catch that before?
Nope, just caught it now.
Boy, oh boy, these guys. That is huge right now. It puts us back into that's 3rd down and long, and man, are we not getting any breaks. Oh, it's only a 5-yarder, thank goodness.
What is that?
Probably you can't have any
potentially dangerous
wristband, or not wristband.
Right, I thought that would be a 15 unsportsmanlike. Yeah.
Too.
So.
Illegal equipment call.
Interesting. All right, well, however, it's 3rd and 12. It's still a long 3rd down conversion attempt here for Oskaloosa.
Good thing is they called it before the play, man.
Right.
That's why I tell those softball girls, don't open your mouth with that pierced tongue.
Yeah. 4 wide receivers. Howard takes the snap, looking to throw, fires it down the field, and that wall is well off the mark, intended for Cruz. That's that back shoulder throw you were talking about. This one was a quick developing one and just not on target, and that'll bring up 4th and 12, leaving Pella the opportunity not to have to use any of their timeouts. They have both of them remaining, and a short punt situation here, 4th and 12 from their own 18 for Oskaloosa, and now it's up to the special teams and defense to try to keep it at this 14-7 game heading into halftime.
Yeah, and that's a long throw from the right hash mark there all the way across the field. That was a tough throw for Howard to make.
All right, so back to punt, Oskaloosa. And the punt is high in the air, near side. Van Rukel, a good one, and a fair catch by Van Zee at the 47-yard line. So a nice corner-type punt there from Van Rukel, or Jaden Van Rukel, and that'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Dutch. Defensively, Oskaloosa's got to hold strong here. Still plenty of time with 2:56 left for the Dutch.
Well, and credit to Jaden Van Rukel. That is absolutely perfect to pin him against that sideline. DeCock was down there in case he did catch it and want to go, but great job by Jaden on the punt.
Great crowd on hand on both sides. I would imagine they're close, if not to absolutely shattering this attendance record here. Of course, the band is going to be on the field for the halftime show, and we'll be locked in for that during halftime. But Oskaloosa's defense has a job to do first. 2:56 to go in the first half. 14-7, Pella the lead. One wide receiver to the near side. Van Zee splits out to the far side. In the shotgun, two backs. Here's Gustafson, and he's going to hand it off up the middle. This is the other back, not Schnell, but a pickup of 11. And again, you're just not looking for a guy like Sam Warner to get a handoff there, but he does and picks up. They're going to give him about 10, but it still should be a first down.
Well, right up the middle. They got a body on Tanner. He's got to get his hands out in front of him and get that blocker, shed that blocker, and at least get somewhat of a tackle on the running back there.
Yeah, and when the linemen are coming off the line of scrimmage, the first thing that one of them is looking for is that middle linebacker on a run up the middle, and that's exactly where Tanner DeCock is playing, and that's a good piece of blocking there by the Dutch offensive line. Van Zee splits out to the slot to the far side out of this diamond. Here's a snap, another handoff. This one is not going to be as successful in a flag into the backfield.
Well, these referees definitely are on top of everything, I guess.
There's a player that's hurt down there. I can't quite see the number, Coach. Do you have a vantage point on who's down on the field?
No, I don't yet.
They're not helping you out any at all.
No, they're not.
54.
It's Van Vliet. Cade Van Vliet looks a little shaken up. Maybe it's just a wind knocked out of you situation, the way he's kind of doubled over.
Good job by the Oskaloosa defense caving down on that play that time.
It was a similar play. It was a gain of 3. I believe it, once again, went to Warner, but we'll see exactly what the penalty is as Van Vliet comes off the field. It was thrown well in the backfield. I believe this would be a hold. This is the position for a hold, and it is. So it's 10 from the spot, and that's deep in the backfield, so that's going to move back the Dutch quite a bit. And the Oskaloosa crowd giving a big hand because that's the first time they've seen a penalty walked off against the players in white in a while. So
well,
after they mark it off, it'll be about second. Oh, no, it should be first down. You're right. First down and 23 yards. Yep.
Now, last year, this was the worst situation for our defense to be in. Let's hope this is, with the new year, we can stiffen up on these long yardage plays. That's a lateral.
Yep, and here is a ball's loose. Ball's still loose. That just kind of squirted out of there. And did Oskaloosa recover? They did.
Huge break for the Indians right there. Just squirted out of Avery's arm.
That was interesting. It was that backward pass they scored on the big play earlier, and as he turned up the field, he just kind of lost it. It just squirted out of his hand.
Yeah, and he had some room.
Van Rukel.
Dykstra got it,
Yeah,
it looks like.
Dykstra and Van Rukel were both there, but it looks like Dykstra came out of it with it. What a half he's having. And Oskaloosa picks up a huge break. 2 timeouts, 2:18 to go, and a ball at the Pella 43-yard line. Second life for this offense here to try to get something going once again. They'll come out with the receiving core with Henry going to the far side. Also have Chapman, Nunnikoven, and DeCock out there with Hill in the backfield. So no Jared Cruz here for this particular play. 3 wide to the near side, the far side of the field, wide side of the field. Here is a whirl out for Howard, a short throw again, but it's going to be bobbled and dropped by DeCock. This is the same throw they made last drive for a short gain. Any hesitancy to maybe go down the field a little bit here for Coach Dinkins?
Well, that play right there was only going to get a yard or two, and the clock would have been running. So, you know, I'm not saying it's good that he dropped it, but it's good that he dropped it.
Ah, all right. They have not really tried going down the field too much the last couple of drives. We'll see what exactly they're doing as Blum is warming on the sideline, and he's got a big boot. Wind is blowing pretty significantly down there, but I'm sure they would like not to have to rely on him. They'd like to put 6 on the board. 2:14 to go in the first half. Here's the snap. Here is a quick throw, intercepted. Never saw him there, and trying to make a big return and breaking a tackle inside the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown, Lucas Warner, and what about that? There's a flag as he crosses the end zone. I would imagine that's going to be a celebration penalty on Pella, so the touchdown will still stand. But with 2:02 left, that was just a one-read play by Seth Howard, and he threw it right at Lucas Warner. And that was I believe that was close to about 65 yards. On a little slant, it looked like he was looking for Henry on that far side, Doug, and we'll see what exactly they call here. I think it's pretty obvious what the penalty will be. It's just how they rule it. But my goodness, what a big turn of events. Both teams exchanging turnovers, the first ones we've seen in the game.
Yeah, and this is just almost a repeat of what happened in the opening game last year at Pella when we gave up 2 late second quarter touchdowns, and Pella kind of put the game away. You know, they're taking away our slants, and their linebackers are dropping into that hook zone, and he did it right there, and Seth just did the same.
Oh, I think they're going to wipe the touchdown off.
No.
Well, I don't know. The personnel changed. It looks like the extra point team.
There's no penalty on the field, apparently. I apologize.
No, there's a penalty. I just don't know what's going on here.
Be assessed on the kickoff.
I believe so, yes.
Minima on to attempt the extra point.
It will be. The touchdown is good, and it is an unsportsmanlike call. So it'll be 15 on the kickoff, which gives Oskaloosa an opportunity to have good field position nonetheless after the celebration. Still 2:02 and 2 timeouts to go. Obviously, this isn't the way you wanted this to happen, but as the play is going to be blown dead before the snap, they still snapped it.
I don't think the referee was even ready for the ball to be snapped.
The touchdown was good.
All right, well, however, it's week 1 for everybody here, folks. Week 1 for them, week 1 for the officials, week 1 for the players, week 1 for us. It's week 1. Meet him on for the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it is good. 21-7. We are going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff. Oski still has 2:02 to work with here in the first half, trailing by 14.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities. Where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success. Where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Here's the replay of the interception, what was a pick 6, and it was about 60 yards right there, and Henry coming across the middle, and just Howard never saw the linebacker making the play. Great play by Lucas Warner, and then some blocking down the field too to get Howard out of the way, breaking a tackle as well to get into the end zone. The kickoff is going to be 15 yards back for a celebration penalty, but at the same time, Pella has to feel good after that pick 6 because I believe 2 plays before that, they had turned it over in Oskaloosa territory.
Yeah, and there's a couple things there. It's exactly what we thought. It was a slant pattern and tried to force it in there. Their linebackers are dropping back to take that away. That is the one play that they are bound determined to take away from Oskaloosa is the slant pass, and they're doing it right now.
Van Vliet, the injured player we haven't seen, of course, come back in. We'll check on that. But Miedema's kickoff is going to be a line drive straight back. It's going to be caught by Miller at the 20. Miller across the 30, 35, about to the 39 before being wrestled to the ground. We'll mark him at the 40, give him that extra yard. And with 1:55 to go and 2 timeouts, Oski's offense has plenty of time to maybe make some moves here, but they have to take care of the football. And it'll be 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. 21-7, Pella the lead, 1:55 to go in the first half.
Hey, Coach, is the wind blowing from north to south down there? 3 points would be huge right here.
Well, still actually, guys, almost directly out of the east, it looks like, with the flag here blowing pretty stiffly. It still hasn't died down too much here on the sidelines.
Out of the east, so that'd be blowing across the field.
Yep, right across the field.
It'd be left to right for Blom if he's called out there. 1st and 10 here, 4 wide receivers. High snap, Howard takes it out of the breadbasket of Hill. He's across the 40 to about the 46, maybe 47. Good job by him on what could have been a disastrous play, and Oski's going to have to go in the hurry up here.
Well, we got another high snap there, and he's having to reach up. Look at that. Nick DeYoung is in the backfield before we can even get a handoff there. So, once again, a good job by Chapman not blocking in the back.
Because that would just compound any issues. So Oskaloosa, another 4 wide receiver set, 2nd and 3 in the shotgun is Howard, takes the snap, bobbles it, it's on the ground, and he's going to have to jump on it again.
We got it back, we got it, but lost it down there.
Yeah, and Coach, what are you seeing from the snap? Is it just kind of floating back there from Noah?
Yep, kind of a little bit of knuckleball almost. That ball's just, floating like you said. And, boy, that's bad because now we got 3rd and 3 and still got 2 timeouts, but we're down to 1:05 here. And this quarter.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Jenkins 3rd and 6 now after they lose 3 on the fumble, and you almost think you just want to play a safe call here, maybe burn some time and maybe pin Pella deep and just go to the half, maybe readjust and regroup. 4 wide receivers again on 3rd and 6. The snap, but a handoff to Hill, and he is going to be brought down in the backfield, a loss of 1. A couple of players in on the play. Timeout Pella. Gabe Thomas and Sam Warner both on the tackle. Loss of a couple on the play. Pella burns one of their 2 remaining timeouts, and Oski will have to punt on 4th and about 7. And we'll just keep it here for the time being. But Doug, right now Oskaloosa has lost all sense of momentum in the last 5 minutes of this second quarter.
Yeah, and there's a couple things going on. On offense, we are having a problem with the center snap right now. We got a youngster in there. He's doing a pretty decent job, but he's floating a few, and I think the snaps are throwing our timing off because they're not getting to the quarterback nice and crisp. And Pella's actually getting penetration right as we're trying to run the read option. So I saw Hunter Else warming up. I don't know if he's going to come in, but we've got to get our snaps a little bit better. The other thing is on defense, Pella is able to get on our linebackers, get to that second level just freely with their linemen, and we're not able to get off of it. We're coming lateral or almost backing up on defense, and we've got to start pushing forward and making plays up around the line of scrimmage, and not let Pella run downhill on us all the time.
Yeah, as you said, Coach, if we had Cole Henry back to the snaps are okay, but we got Seth Howard.
Right. At 5 inches makes a big difference, as this is a good punt again from Van Rukel away from Van Zien. It'll bounce inside the 30, inside the 25, and down. Stays in bounds down at about the 19-yard line. Well, that's a bright spot for our special teams. The fact that Jaden Van Rukel has made a couple of fantastic punts to put Pella in a tough spot. Now Oski's defense just has to hold for 31 seconds, and that also burned a solid 9 or 10 seconds off the clock. So we'll see how aggressive Coach Jay McKinstry wants to be here. I would imagine he's going to be pretty lax.
Yeah, Oski has two timeouts. He may do a running play. If they get 10, 15 yards, they'll probably use their timeout and then take a couple shots downfield. If they don't gain much here, they'll probably run it out and go into halftime with 21-7 lead. Van Zien motion to the right.
Here's the snap. Gustafson hands it off going up the middle, and a lot of space there, but brought down at the 30 after a gain of 11. I believe that was Keaton DeCock on the stop, and that'll be enough for a first down. Again, that was a nice run by Sam Warner.
Yeah, we're just getting walled off up front here.
24 seconds left, and it looks like they're going to come to the line of scrimmage quickly. 20 seconds left. And here is the throw over the middle and dropped. Well, that's interesting. They had him open. That's an interesting call, as Nick DeYoung, the tight end, who's just been a blocker in this game, actually goes out for an opportunity to maybe catch a pass. And Oskaloosa kind of ballooned into a prevent defense there, but he dropped what would have been a 15-yard gain.
Well, and then with the wind blowing, it's not really blowing into their face, and they've got a good kicker in Medema. So if you're Oskaloosa, you can't be too soft here.
16 seconds away from halftime. One wide receiver to the near side. That's where. Van Zee over to the far side. Here's another handoff straight up the gut. And again, gashing the Oskaloosa defense with these runs up the middle. 10 seconds to go, and the ball at the 44. Still probably not enough time to do anything crazy here, but again, Warner, another big pickup. There's still one timeout for Pella. You figure they'd use it now. I mean, if they start the clock, this will be the last play, and they will. We'll keep it here once again. Make sure, we'll just remind you quickly, the way we're going to do halftime, we have a presentation with the Raffles, MCG helping out. The Raffles will do that. Then the marching band will be getting themselves on the field. We'll have that presentation for you as well, so be sure to lock in with us and keep it with us. But, Doug, what do you think Coach Jenkins is going to go to the locker room, and what is he going to say to his guys to try to get them pumped up for the second half?
Well, I'm not sure what adjustments you can make. Pella is getting to the second level and is able to get a hat on our linebackers. Our linebackers are not big enough right now, or getting their hands out to get off of the blockers and also make the tackle. So we've got to have some help and flow to the ball. We got to gang tackle and react a little bit quicker here. Instead of waiting for them to come to us, we've got to go get them.
Oskaloosa defensively really just needs to hold for one or two more plays. With 10 seconds left and no timeouts, if this is a run or a completed pass, you'd figure that's pretty much going to be it for the half.
Well, you might watch a crossing pattern with a flip to a guy coming the opposite way here.
Here it is. Two wide receivers. Out of the shotgun, a high snap pulled down by Gustafson. He is going deep, and double coverage for Oskaloosa. Van Rukel's going to make the interception inside the 20. You're going to say he's at about the 11-yard line after Van Zee makes the tackle. 1 second to go. Maybe that's a little bit of a boost going into the locker room here, Doug, just the fact that you were able to get a turnover and force a turnover here.
Yeah, and actually, if you're Coach Jenkins, you go in and say, hey, defense, we gave up 14 points. The first touchdown, tackling has been the issue. They've had missed tackles. They're diving at their legs, and they're high-stepping and pulling their feet through. Give credit to the Pella runners. They run hard. They're running through those arm tackles. We got to tackle through the thighs and drive our shoulders through them.
With 1 second left, I can't imagine Coach Jenkins drawing up anything other than a QB kneel here, or maybe just a run up the middle. You don't want to be too risky down here in the opposing red zone, and he's going to be under center for the first time today and just take a quick knee. And that'll be halftime. Score at halftime, Pella 21, Oskaloosa 7. And, of course, we'll head down to the field for a quick presentation. Let's go ahead and send it to our PA announcer, Jeff Akers.
Okay, everybody, get out your red tickets that you were handed on the way in. We're now going to take it to Steve Burnett down on the track. Check, check. All right. All right, everybody. We, at the team at MCG, wanted to find a way to show our appreciation to the community, and we thought the best way to do that was to start off by recognizing our educators in the community. So we'd like to give this check for $1,000 to the Oskaloosa School District. So, thank you, you bet. Thank you. And then the second thing we wanted to do, I mean, if you were standing down here right now, you'd be super impressed. This is freaking awesome to see all of you up there. So thank you all for coming tonight. We wanted to show our appreciation. And we've got 3 other folks in the community that are going to do it. Every home game, we're going to do this where we're going to give something away at halftime. The next time around, it'll be Bates Funeral Chapel. The next time, it'll be Hy-Vee. And the last game of the year, it'll be Oskaloosa Herald. All you got to do is show up to play. So I'm going to turn it over to Eddie Pearson, who's going to start to draw for the prize.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How about our Oskaloosa Indians? Woo! All right, so I want everybody to grab your blue tickets. Oh, sorry. Red tickets. All right, let's turn this and pick it. Hold on. Here we go. All right, lucky ticket. 657-7102. All right, who's got 657-7102? All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 Dance Dynamic team is back this year to entertain you with their halftime hip-hop routine. The team is led this year by captains Maggie Fitzpatrick and Sydney Sarver. Your Dance Dynamics.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information. Give me in.
Ladies and gentlemen, dance dynamics. And now, please welcome the 2017 edition
They
of
come
the
off the field. The fantastic marching Indians of Oskaloosa are going to be marching onto the field. They're going to be checking it out. And of course, this program means an awful lot to everybody. And we have the entire crowd is still in the stands. A big crowd, record crowd here on hand for this Pella Oskaloosa football game. Again, the score 21-7. We'll go ahead and take it to the field as the marching Indians get set, and you'll be listening to the entire show live as Oskaloosa going to be checking it out for the first time as well. Big shout out, Doug. I know that one thing that you like to do is talk about your wife. And I want to talk about my wife. My wife is the color guard instructor at Oskaloosa High School, and she's done an awesome job with this group. So can't wait to see what they have on the field this year.
All right, yeah, Oskaloosa's always had a fantastic band, and we don't expect anything less here.
All right, let's go ahead and send it down to the field. It is Oskaloosa's Marching Indians here on the NCN Network.
Is the band ready? Marching Indians, the field is yours for our halftime performance. Let's hear it for the Oskaloosa Marching Indians. The band is under the direction of Mr. Rich Waddington, Rusty Raymond, and Justin.
That is a look at the first opener of the season. I've been informed by my wife that they are going to add to that show as the season goes on. Their marching band competition season is going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks, so they have some time to figure the rest of the show out. But an outstanding opener, and we are going to have, of course, Rich Waddington's band. My wife, of course, helping out as well, Carrie Songer, and I'm excited to see how that show progresses as the season wears on. We're also excited to see how this game progresses. We're going to go ahead and take a break. At halftime, it's Pella 21, Oskaloosa 7. We'll be back and give you some statistics from the first half and get you ready for half number 2 right here on the No Coast Network.
At Pepsi, we think it's important to celebrate stuff in life.
Like when you text that really cute guy you met at a party on Friday, and he immediately texts you back. You celebrate with an ice-cold Pepsi.
Or your friend turns on the radio, and your absolute most favorite new song just happens to be playing. That calls for a Pepsi, too.
Because when you and your roommate order a pizza, and the delivery guy throws in extra breadsticks, no charge?
Break out the Pepsi.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
Clow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Clow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Clow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa.
Welcome back in. We are live here as Pella leads Oskaloosa 21-7. Emery Songer live with the effervescent and ever-present Doug DeCock up here in the box, and we got Coach Jay Harms down there on the field. Before we get into anything, I got a couple of important stats for you. 12-6 in first downs. That is Pella. 12 first downs to Oskaloosa 6. You talk about total yards in the running game, it is 113-79 in favor of Pella, and in the passing game, it's 56-41 in favor of Oskaloosa. Both teams kind of just feeling each other out on that. Not a ton of success in the air thus far outside of one big play for the Indians. And then the big one is the penalties. We do have penalty number for Oskaloosa, 7 penalties for 80 yards, but Pella has 5 penalties for 50 yards. You talked to me about it. The timing of the penalties not necessarily great for Oskaloosa.
Yeah, Emery, I think just the timing of those penalties when they were called against Oskaloosa was a killer in that first half. You know, you can say what you want. Some of them might have been penalties, some might not, but we have not seen Oskaloosa this sloppy, I'll call it, as far as lining up, illegal motion, and so forth. All of last year, we did not see that. So, a little disappointed in that at halftime. Now, it's 21-7. If you're the defense, Coach Jenkins, you can say, hey, guys, we allowed 14 now, and one of them was on some missed tackles. So the defense is hanging in there. It's a tough chore. Our linebackers have got to read quicker and step up and attack the ball carriers instead of waiting for them to come to them. Pella has a lot of good, hard-running running backs.
Coach Harms, you've gotten a little bit of a different point of view down there, field level. You've been able to hear some of the dialogues from the coaches, from the players. As the teams are back out there warming up for the second half, what has been some of your big takeaways from that first half for Oskaloosa?
Well, pretty much everything you guys said up there, and I think a real key right now is, we won the toss, deferred, started this third quarter. I think this first possession, first drive that we have, we've got to go ahead and show Pella that we can move the football against them. If we go 3 and out, punt right away, boy, it could be a rest of a long night here for Oskaloosa guys.
Thanks, Coach. We'll be checking in periodically throughout the rest of this game, but one thing that he said that I think hits the nail on the head, you got to take advantage of the fact that you get the ball first here in the second half. You could trim this to a one-possession game. You're only down 14, 21-7. The statistics aren't really that wide one way or the other. It was the big Van Zee swing pass to get the scoring going, and then the big pick six that are really the two plays that stick out in your mind, and those both were touchdown plays for Pella, and that in turn is the difference in today's ball game. So on the Pella side of things, Doug, what I think is going to be interesting is how much more do they rely on Van Zee, because in that second quarter, it really wasn't Van Zee doing much of the damage. It was really when they were throwing, Curtis Ware was doing a great job making catches. And then secondly, both of those fullbacks that they have in there, Warner and Schnell, they were both doing a great job of getting themselves up the field.
Yeah, they were loosening us up on the inside there and through the middle of the second quarter. And we've got to take some chances. We got to roll. Our safety's got to roll up a little quicker. We've got to attack the ball carrier. I look for Pella to fake that middle and throw a quick swing or a pitch to the outside here, because we've got to start cheating down a little bit and giving some help on the inside.
Yeah, Coach Jenkins has a lot of adjusting to do. He did make some good adjustments, which took Van Zee kind of out of the mix, but Coach McKinstry answered with the adjustments he was able to make by getting the ball up the middle to Reese Schnell and Sam Warner up the middle with the two fullbacks, and Gustafson has done a decent job throwing the football as well. He did throw an interception that was fairly meaningless at the end of the half on a deep ball, just trying to score at the end of the half. That was picked off by Jaden Van Rukel, but statistically that might hurt him a little bit, but that was what he was told to do. For the most part, in coverage, it's been good for Oskaloosa. It's just a matter of trying to go back out there, try to figure out exactly how you're going to stop that interior running attack by the Dutch here in the second half. And offensively, what are you going to come out with? Because running, there are a couple of big runs. There's been a couple of good pass plays for Oskaloosa, but there wasn't really anything that they've been able to hang their hat on so far.
No, and Pella just basically, just like basketball, they're saying, hey, man on man, I'm going to guard you one-on-one. You got to prove you can beat me. That's all they're doing. They're just lining head up and saying, come on, try to run past me or get open. Their linebackers do a great job of dropping back into their hook zones, so they're taking away the slants. We've got to be able to run some out patterns and some go routes and try to beat them one-on-one. Otherwise, it's going to be a long second half for Oskaloosa.
The Indians will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. Again, big thanks to everyone here at MCG, helping us get on MCG Channel 7. The Oskaloosa Video Production Team, we can't be happier about the fact that we are able to team up with them, not only for basketball season, but also for the football season. And their instructor, Kim Guile, for helping us out, get everything set up and going. Got to give a big thanks to Titus Letzering back in the No Coast Network studio, helping get us going on that front. And then, of course, our technical director here on location, Dino Lenducci. He is helping us do that as well, along with all of the students. So for Oskaloosa and for the Pella Little Dutch, this big second half, the Indians know they're going to have to play good football. Down 14, 21-7, but they do get the football first.
And we have a couple game breakers back there, and Tyler Miller and Tucker Nunnikoven. So we need a good return here, and just take our time. And that game was tied at 7-7, and it looked like we had control of the line of scrimmage there for a while. And then all of a sudden, Pella, to their credit, makes some changes, adjustments, and boom, they put two touchdowns on the board. So
it's crazy how things that can happen.
It swung in a hurry. It looked like Oskaloosa was possibly going to take a 14-7 lead, and then things just turned around.
The pick six really made things different as ball spotted at the 40. Wind still blowing, it looks like, from the far sideline to the near sideline, right to left for Miedema as he tees it up, getting ready to kick it away to Nunnekoven and Miller. They both had, each of them have had good returns in this game already. We'll see what they can do here. Miedema puts a boot to it, a low line drive kick that's going to bounce. It's going to be tapped and received at the 5-yard line by Miller, and he's not going to get to the 15-yard line. That was about as good a kickoff as you could possibly hope for, deep with still a bounce, and it was Van Zee in on the tackle. So with the first drive coming, Oskaloosa already backed way up at the 13-yard line, but that is just a picture-perfect kickoff, but that time by Caden Miedema.
Yeah, nice job by Van Zee. They put their flyer on the outside there, and he got down there and made the tackle when Miller had to tap the ball. But, you know, maybe you move up a little bit. I mean, if the ball goes over your head, it's going to go into the end zone.
Right, and that's
instead of standing at the goal line, maybe stand at the 10-yard line.
All you got to do is just have it cross the plane of the end zone in high school, and it counts as a touchback. So, anywho, man in motion is Nunnekoven across the formation to the far side.
Penalty.
No flag came out, and here is a little counter action play. Chapman, a good block, and that's going to be close to a first down. And then a late flag on a hit out of bounds. It looked like Van Vliet, who was shaken up at the end of the first half, back out there a little too much as he went toward Howard on the sideline. That might be 15 on top of the 9-yard gain already, but I was with you. It looked like he was kind of moving toward the line of scrimmage, was Nunnekoven in motion, but they did not throw a flag on that one. I'm guessing maybe at halftime the officials had a chance to kind of collectively take a deep breath and maybe not be so flag happy.
Well, there was no doubt on that. He wasn't leaning. He took a step forward. I mean, that was.
But we've seen already like 4 illegal form or procedure calls that could have been something like that, not being set at the line of scrimmage. You can be moving as long as you're moving laterally,
right,
as the snap occurs. But
that's a big break for Oskaloosa. They don't.
And then they pick up 15.
Yeah, they pick up 15. So good start here.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line. A man in motion. This time is Tanner DeCock. This one is going to be a quick handoff to Hill, and again, Hill bottled up right down the pipe. That defensive line for Pella and the linebackers in support have done a very good job of making that happen. It was Nick DeYoung on the stop. He is a big boy.
Yes, he is. He's a good player, but I'll tell you what, if Seth Howard pulls that ball out right there, he's got a lot of room to ramble. So look for them to come back to that play and him to pull it out, because their end crashed down on that.
A lot of blowouts tonight in high school football. I'm not sure we'll get a big opportunity to say a lot of the scores, so that means you'll have to tune in to Scores and More presented by Bubbler after our game, live on KMZN, so be sure to check that out. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Now coming in motion is DeCock once again. Another handoff. This is to Hill, and Hill again maybe gets one back to the original line of scrimmage. And again, good defense with Van Vliet, the man on the tackle. These look more like their design runs, not necessarily read option.
Yeah, you might be right there, Emery, but if they were read option, Howard's got some room. He had an alley there again, but that very well could be what they're doing. They're trying to just maybe slow Pella down with some quick hitters there inside and slow that rush down.
What are you seeing, Coach Harms?
Yeah, I agree. It looked like Doug was saying, man, if he pulls those out, those two, looks like he's going to get big gains. But we're going to try to put it up here and broken route.
Well, yeah, the pressure from DeYoung as well as coming through not only DeYoung, but it was also Jacob Hirma who busted through and were able to make a big hit on Howard as he tried to deliver the ball on that quick snap, trying to get Cruz out on an out route, but just no time for Howard to throw the ball, and now it's a punt formation. This has been a bright spot, though. Van Ruckel has punted twice, and they've both been beautiful punts. He's going to have to do that again here for Oskaloosa.
Yeah, he made a nice pickup off the snap on the last one, but Pella coming right up the middle on us.
Here's the snap, a little bit low, fielded, and another line drive kick, and Van Zee makes the catch but falls down as he makes the catch. Good job trying to dodge him while he was being blocked by Keaton DeCock. That very well could have potentially been 15. And Van Zee just clarifying, did I make a fair catch signal? I'm not sure. It didn't matter because he fell to his knees after he made the catch, but it does matter because if he calls fair catch and then starts to run after he catches the ball, that's an illegal fair catch, and That could be 15 yards on him, but either way, 1st and 10 for the Dutch at their own 37.
Yeah, and just what happened, guys, we talked about, or I mentioned, we didn't want to go 3 and out and get them the ball right back, and boy, our defense has really take a stand here now.
One wide receiver is Curtis Ware to the far side, and Van Zee takes a direct snap. He is going to be running to off right tackle, and he's going to be brought down. Flags come down from everywhere.
Face mask.
We'll see exactly. It was right at the point of the tackle, along with Miles. It was a pickup of 8 yards on the play, and another discussion, but multiple flags out on the play. We'll see what the infractions are.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's a face mask, and does that go from the end of the run?
Yeah. I believe they still have the 5-yard option in high school, but we'll see. It'll be a personal foul. That's the second time that's happened.
Wow.
So it is tacked on at the end of the run. So it's 8 yards and then 15 from there. So Oskaloosa, again, shooting themselves, both teams exchanging 15-yard penalties here on the first drives of the half.
Oskaloosa almost at the century mark for penalties now. I think that's 95 yards in penalties.
Yes, 8 penalties for 95.
Ouch.
Not good. Here's the shotgun. This is going to be a little pitch to Van Zee. Turns it upfield quickly and is knocked down by Tanner DeCock, among others, in on the play. And it'll be 2nd and about 8.
Much better job by DJ Miles that time. There you saw him attack right when he read the ball and he was in the backfield, made the runner cut it back in. So much better job already on the first play there by DJ Miles.
Ware splits out to the near side. He's lined up across from Nunnakoven. And then, of course, that diamond formation. The tight end, DeYoung, goes to the other side. Backing off the line of scrimmage here is Ware. The snap, a little throw. Caught by Cruz on an interception, but I believe that the play was dead before the snap. Bad break for Oskaloosa, but that might explain why there was nobody there.
There was an interception on the play, but
I think Pella called time before the snap.
Wow.
Is that exactly what happened? Yep. Timeout Pella before the snap. How about that by Coach Jay McKinstry? We'll take a quick break, but that saves a potential big-time turnover. And here in the third quarter, 21-7, Pella with the ball and the lead. We'll be back after a quick break on the No Coast Network.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
All right, well, if you just missed that play, as we come back live at the Lacey Recreation Complex, the third quarter action is 21-7. Pella the lead and the ball. 2nd and 8 from the Oski 38-yard line, right in the middle of the field. 9.5 to go in the third quarter, but that timeout was unbelievably timed because Jared Cruz had an interception and maybe a touchdown return if that wasn't stopped. Here's a throw over the middle, nobody home. That time DeYoung doing a little seam route from his tight end position, and that throw by Gustafson not even close. And I'll bring up a 3rd and 8, but it's kind of like Coach McKinstry knew something was up there after that was the first time we had seen DeYoung flip sides of the formation. I don't think he liked that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but boy, what a call, a timeout to save. That could have been a potential Oskaloosa ball deep in Pella territory as Cruz had some room over on this side.
9:26 to go, 3rd and 8 now at the Oski 38. This is kind of 2-down territory, you'd think. They're not close enough for a field goal, not really far enough away for an effective punt. As here's Gustafson, he's going to roll out, and Blake Van Veldhuizen makes him come back. He throws across his body and to no one.
Well, I think they're going to punt it, Emery. They've only given up 7 points.
You're right.
You need to make Oskaloosa go 90 yards here. If you don't get it, give them a shorter field. I think that's a mistake by Pella.
Well, they are going to come out with a personnel change, which would make you think the punt is going to be on. Gabe Thomas has done the punting duties, and he's done a great job of doing that as well. 9:19 to go.
You definitely have to watch the rugby punt here because now is a time where you tuck it down and you run for the first down.
Don't have a lot to lose if you do, and Oskaloosa is not going to send anybody back to return the punt. They're going to bank on watching to make sure there's no funny business here at the line of scrimmage.
Well, That's a penalty.
There is a penalty, and it was a high snap.
It over his head. Unbelievable.
The breaks Pella's gotten already on this drive, unbelievable. As the snap was about to be given, it was a penalty. On the far side of the formation, there was a little flinch, which actually is going to give Pella a little more room to maybe pin Oskaloosa deep. But on the snap, it went over the punter's head, and very well could have been in favor of Oskaloosa again. So the breaks just not going the Indians' way here when the penalties are being called on the Dutch.
Well, and Oski doesn't have anybody back. I'm not sure. I'd maybe put one guy back there.
Here's the snap and a little pooch kick with nobody back, and they're looking to get a good bounce, and it's a nice play there. It is Curtis Ware who touched the ball initially at the 10-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it. So you called it 90 yards. It's where they wanted to be. They wanted Oskaloosa to have that there, and they'll mark it at the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 Indians. What do you need to see offensively from Oski? Because what they're doing right now is not allowing Howard to have enough time to throw, and they're not giving Casey Hill any room to run.
Well, I think you got to get the ball in Howard's hands. You got to let him run a little bit and try to get him in some space. I would drop back with Howard and try to form a pocket, have him step up and scramble and try to make something happen, either with his legs or on broken play type scenario, him running with the ball. We just not shown the ability to beat him one-on-one with our receivers.
Howard in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. That is Cole Henry. Here's a rollout to the left by Howard. He throws across his body. It's caught for a first down to Chapman at about the 20-yard line. So there's a good start. That'll be a first down for Oskaloosa on a pickup of 11. But immediately you see there a designed rollout to try to at least move the pocket a little and buy him a little bit more time.
Yeah, nice job by the line there. Nice throw by Howard. Chapman runs good route, sits down right in there. And first down for Oskaloosa. Not sure if they were in man-to-man. If Pella doesn't play man-to-man all over, I'm not sure why they would do that.
They line it up, 2 wide receivers each side, 2 by 2 with 1 safety. It's Ware back. Here's the snap. This is going to be a fake handoff. Howard keeps it. He's across the 25 to about the 30. Spins off a Van Zee tackle, and then will be brought down at about the 34-yard line as Ware again makes the stop. The Pella player is injured all the way back at the 15-yard line, right at the point of the initial contact with Casey Hill in the backfield. Can't quite see who that is.
I think it's number 50, Jake Hirma. I'm not positive, but it looks like number 50.
Yeah, well, it is going to be a first down for Oskaloosa at their own 34-yard line. So the offense is moving a little bit, but with the injury on the field right now, player down. We'll go ahead and take a quick break and be back with more after this. Pella leading 21-7 with 8.5 to go here in the third quarter on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Tyler Miller.
All right, we're back live, 8:42. The player indeed was Hirma, Doug, there. We were talking in the break what we're going to see from the Oski offense. Seth Howard doing a good job throwing and running here on the first couple of plays of this drive, and it's 1st and 10 for the Indians here at their own 34-yard line as in the shotgun 2-by-2 once again. It's Nunakovic and Henry to the near side, to Cock and Chapman to the far side, Hill in the backfield alongside Seth Howard. Howard takes a snap, looks to throw a pump fake, throws a little slant. It was a low throw, but it was still caught, put in a good spot. That's actually Cruz, not Chapman there on the far side, and that's going to be right at the sticks. But Coach Harms, you've been down there, and you've been seeing Oskaloosa maybe making some adjustments down there offensively.
Yeah, you guys kind of talking about up there. I think you're going to see a lot of rollouts here. That time straight drop back by Seth, but I think we'll see rollout, tucker run, or look for that little quick passes that we're seeing right now.
They mark him about a half yard short of the first down, which I think is a good spot after seeing the replay because his knee was down with the ball about a half yard behind him, and now they're going to give him the first down. So they're going to give Oski a benefit there. That probably should have been second and short.
I don't think that's a benefit. I think that's that
the free play
Oskaloosa,
almost.
you'd have second and inches, and you could go for a home run or something.
Well, indeed, it turns into a 1st and 10 at about the 44-yard line after a gain of barely 10, I suppose. Here's a rollout to the right, just like Coach Harms talked about. This throw a little off the mark, low, intended for Tucker Nunnikoven, with Henry also in the vicinity. These rollouts are going to give him obviously a little more time, but the throws are going to definitely be more difficult to try to be able to perform, especially with the kind of coverage we've been seeing in man-to-man for Pella in this game.
Well, when you roll out, you're basically saying you're only getting half the field. That time we had 3 receivers over on that side. I'm not sure what the routes were there. It looked like we had 2 receivers a little bit too close to each other.
Yeah, good point, Doug. I agree with that. They were almost side by side.
2 by 2 once again. Ball on the far side hash, 2nd and 10 at Oskaloosa's own 44-yard line. The man in motion is DeCock. He settles in as an H-back and kind of a fullback blocker for Hill, but it doesn't do any good, as again he's brought down. It is Van Vliet and DeYoung again on the stop, a loss of 1 and 3rd and 11. That's just not working here for Oskaloosa, Doug. Most of these runs, outside of one run in the first quarter that set up the touchdown, they just haven't been able to get him space.
Well, they've been doing a number on us up in the middle there. They're getting penetration on passes. They're really making things difficult for our offense to run here.
All right, well, on 3rd and 11 now, we'll see what Oskaloosa likes to do. Chunks of yardage have been tough to come by for the Indians. And Howard is in the shotgun. Here's a snap. Looking, now he rolls to the right, throws across his body, looking for Henry, who's trying to come back to the football, and that was just kind of a last-minute decision by Howard to try to throw it. Double coverage was there. It was Schnell and Ware there, but now another punt situation on 4th and 11. Coach, down on the field, it kind of looked a little confusion after Howard took the snap of what he wanted to do there, and Henry's route in double coverage probably not where he was intending.
Yeah, that was another back. It looked like a back shoulder. Oskaloosa to punt here. We need to get a good roll.
Last minute, Miles out on the field. 2 back to receive. The Van Rukel punt. Van Rukel puts it in the air. It's high. It's going to get caught up in that wind, and it's going to bounce, get an Oski roll, and go down inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. So, Coach, down there, you're seeing the offense from a different angle than we are. Kind of try to explain to me what we're seeing, especially with these receivers running routes, because it doesn't look like they're able to pick up chunks easily with the coverage that Pella's in.
Yeah, Pella's really doing a great job defensively against us right now. They kind of got us confused a little bit, and it's our running game right now. We have no running game, you know. We got to go to that passing game, and those quick outs, you know, they're doing such a good job covering us on that. So, you know, I was just down here and I was thinking, you know, maybe we could see a Tyler Miller or something, kind of like what they do with Van Zee, just a quick little, you know, lateral or pass in the backfield and give him some space, see what maybe he can do or something.
Yeah, that's a good point, Coach.
Van Zee runs off the field this time as they come out with 2 wide receivers, and this is just kind of a draw. I don't know what the play was. Gustafson maybe gets a yard to the 29. I don't know what that was. Van Zee was kind of in the huddle and then just ran straight back to the sideline.
Yeah, we got Gustafson's hurt too.
Oh, and got Nick Dykstra still leaning over. So
yeah, he's cramping up.
Oh yeah,
It was interesting. Blake Van Villeisen came up with a football. He landed on top of Van Zee. That's probably why he's still down. But Blake did have the football when he rolled off of him. But I think it still be Pella's ball. But right now,
Gustafson's got his helmet off.
Well, the tough thing tonight is we can't get enough time to take any deep shots down the field. I mean, he's throwing off his back foot almost every time, or we got to roll him out. So it's hard to do that. It'd be nice if we could just drop straight back and then chunk one up, but we got to roll out to have enough time to throw the ball right now.
Coach Harms, can you see what they're working on down there with Gustafson?
Yeah, it looks like they're going through like the knee test right now. Kind of down here looking at that. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come out with Van Zee like in the Wildcat here and run some offensive plays.
You know, he'll have to come out for at least a play for sure, but we'll see how long that is. He pulled his helmet off, which, you know, usually you don't see a guy with just a ding do, but he puts the helmet back on the top of his head and will walk off on his own power. So I can't imagine he'll spend too much time on the sideline. And I would imagine you're right, Coach. Van Zee probably is the second guy. They don't give us a 2 deep. Coach McKinstry doesn't believe in 2 deeps. He just gives you a starting lineup.
Will Kamienick is in for Dykstra right here, and Kamienick is just came back out for football, so number 48 here at the right end.
And it is Van Zee who takes the snap, and he's looking to move forward. Look at the shiftiness. My goodness, Van Zee. You're right. Those are some moves. There's a late flag here, probably some extracurriculars after the play. But Van Zee, there wasn't a whole lot there, but him spinning and shifting and juking. He is a shifty guy.
And they got Blake. I think they got Blake Van Velheisen on a personal foul here. Blake's got to keep his head.
All right, we'll see what the official word is, but Blake is running off the field now, and Coach Jenkins will meet him just by the numbers, and it will walk off against Oskaloosa.
The only thing I heard Coach Jenkins say, both ways, both ways.
Yeah, you got it, Coach. That's kind of what we've been talking about. Pella has gotten a couple of big-time penalties, but they just haven't been timed as poorly as Oskaloosa's have. That big 15-yarder they had in the first half was actually a celebration call after a touchdown. Right at midfield now after the penalty, two wide receivers with Van Zee still the quarterback in the shotgun. A little bit of an adjustment with one of the fullbacks going to the other side, and he'll just run right behind him. He's got a convoy, turns it upfield, flag on the play, and he'll be brought down. It looks like Minnick is on a tackle at about the 35, but I think this is coming back.
Yep, definitely a hold on Pella. I had a good angle on that one.
Take a look at the replay here provided by MCG and our OVP workers, and that's a great looking play right there, though. Just having those two fullbacks in front of you, they just outnumber you on that side of the field, Doug.
Yeah, and our linebacker on this side, Kraber, I think it was, waited for the blockers to come to him again. We talked about it earlier. They got to read that. When they start going that way, they've got to bust in there, and they're just going to have to take a blocker on and try to go as hard as they can through the blockers. Yeah, you cannot wait for them to get running downhill, otherwise you're asking for big trouble.
10 yards from the spot of the foul makes it 1st and 19 from their own 41-yard line after the hold. Here's the snap, it's high. Van Zee bobbles it, and he's going to be hit in the backfield. And that's a good job by Miles coming off the line of scrimmage, but it was a high snap.
Oh, there's another flag.
There's a lot of pushing and shoving there on the far side of the field. We'll see who it is as multiple flags came out. But Coach Jenkins is telling his guys, just go ahead and stay on your side of the field, boys, and let the officials sort this one out. But it's getting chippy between these two arch rivals here.
Well, if this is against Oskaloosa, this is going to be a huge call. Hopefully it's not, but
we'll see. There was a Pella player with his helmet off, but there was also an Oski player on his back. So it was a loss on the play. It was Joel Byram who was out there, and I couldn't quite see who the Oskaloosa players that was alongside him, kind of battling. They're talking it over. It may be offsetting calls with two guys there.
He could have been going after him after the whistle downfield, and we just got a little bit tired of him and ripped his helmet off. You never know. Do we have a replay on that?
I'm not sure, but there's also a flag on the near side of the field.
This ain't gonna work out for us, I can tell you that.
I think a betting man would say there's going to be at least one flag on both teams, which would just offset everything, and we would just do 1st and 19 again. Here is the replay, Doug, but I'm thinking we're probably going to get the ball here and not going to be getting necessarily the play away from the ball. But it was a good play by Miles. We've been talking about it. He's Vincent Ramirez's replacement, and we just need to see him a little more active because Vincent was the leading tackler for Oskaloosa last year.
Well, and he has been the second half. He's doing exactly what we needed him to do, and he's coming across the line. He's coming hard, and that's what we need him to do. We need our other backers to do the same thing.
I think the word we're getting is that it was Cole Kraber, who was the Oskaloosa player that was involved in the scrum away from the ball down the field, but the official now, after a conversation, is talking about it, and looks like he's about to break the huddle and tell us what exactly is happening.
Well, whatever, it took way too long.
That's kind of been the theme, Coach.
This is going to be a 3-4 hour game.
Our post-game show, Scores and More, presented by Bubbler, might be a long time away. So dead ball, personal foul on Pella, and that's it. So Oskaloosa is going to get the play to stand the 2-yard loss, and then 15 after the play. And now we're looking at 2nd and a mile. So this actually goes in Oskaloosa's favor after the long discussion.
What are all these long discussions?
That was an awful long discussion.
For a personal foul. I mean, let's
that
go.
was a really long discussion, yeah. Anyways, it's 2nd and a long ways. 36 is what we have, at least on the board. So 2nd down.
Okay, Dykstra's saying that he's getting held every time by this guy when he's going in.
Well, we'll see. Two wide receivers, again, Van Zee still in quarterback, and there's no space up the middle this time. With Van Zee out there trying to do it, it's just a little bit different because Van Zee himself, when he is going wide or he's in the backfield, a lot more eyeballs are on what he's doing. When he's getting the snap, it's pretty obvious he's touching the football, Doug, and I think that's actually working to Oskaloosa's advantage here.
Yeah, they've done a decent job on him. I mean, he's got some yards, but they got him in at quarterback now. I look for Pella to play it safe and punt this thing away. No penalties here for Oskaloosa, and we should be able to get the ball in some decent field position.
3rd and 35. Ball at their own 25. Got to get to the Oski 40 just to try to move the chains and keep the drive alive. Here's the snap. Another quick just little handoff up the middle. This is Thomas, and Oskaloosa will make the tackle after a gain of 9, and that'll bring up what will be a 4th and 26. And a punt situation for Pella here. Coach, the wind down there looks like it's even picking up more than it was in the first half. What can you, what on the field do you think Oskaloosa needs to do to just try to get themselves in scoring position here?
Well, it'd be nice if we get a nice return here by Tyler here. Again, that rugby-style kicker. Here he comes to the left side.
Here is the punt by
good
Thomas.
Punt. Wow.
And that is going to be bobbled by Miller all the way inside the 10 to about the 4-yard line. He is going to make it across the 10 to about the 14 before being brought down. What a fantastic, and then a late flag again is going to be behind the play, and it looks like Van Belheis is going to pick that one up.
He might be out of the game. That would be a second personal foul.
Coach, that was right in front of you down there. What do you think?
Well, Coach Jenkins had his hands up and like, what the heck, you know, I'm not sure what's going on. If he's got his eyeballs on Blake, so Blake's got to really watch it here. He's watching him on every play.
All right, well, with 4:35 to go, Oskaloosa will have the football regardless. It is 21-7, Pella the lead with 4:35 to go. It is going to be
against Oskaloosa.
So that'll be half the distance from the spot. So penalty yardage-wise, it's not big, but as Coach Harms mentioned, the fact that 74 now has eyeballs watching him almost every play, not good offensively as well because he's your leading lineman. He's going to have to be watching himself regardless. So it's 1st and 10 Oskaloosa. Pella the lead, 21-7 with 4:35 to go, 3rd quarter. Oski football at going to be their own 7-yard line, I believe. They haven't marked off the yardage quite yet, but they are right now.
And Cruz is not out there for Oskaloosa. Henry's at that receiver spot. So you got Nunakoven, Chapman, DeCock, and Henry as your receivers. Hill in the backfield along with Howard.
Long ways to go for Oskaloosa. They have not had good field position here in this half at least. Here's the snap, looking to throw a little quick hitter. This is to DeCock at about the 10, gain of about 3. And all you can ask for right now is just some positive momentum here, Doug. For the most part, Oskaloosa's offense has been pretty stagnant, especially when they try to hand the ball off.
Yeah, and once again, so we start at 1st and 20. What was it?
It was 1st and 10. Since it was before the first play, it's still 1st and 10.
Showing 2nd and 13 right now.
Oh, wow, yeah, you're right.
So we were starting in the hole with these stupid penalties. We got to get our head together.
3 wide receivers to the near side. Howard is going to drop the ball. The ball is loose, and Pella's
got it, yeah.
That was just trying to wait too long to make a decision on the read option, and now a fumble inside your own 10-yard line, and now Pella's on the doorstep again. Right here, he's just trying to read it for too long, and by the time he decided he wanted to pull it out, it was too late, and the ball just dropped in between him and Hill, and an easy recovery for Pella at about their 6-yard line. That's just maybe some inexperience with your new quarterback.
Yeah, it's, you know, I look for a big improvement from week 1 to week 2 because there's a lot of things we need to improve on here. Offensively, which is kind of surprising to me. We kind of thought our offense was going to be explosive, and Pella, their strength is their defense, and they bottled us up.
Well, it is going to be Van Zee getting the snap, a direct snap, goes to the pylon, dives into the end zone. He's got it, touchdown Dutch, and that'll make it 27-7, and Pella firmly in control here. That was just a direct snap and follow your blockers and just try to beat your man to the pylon. It was him and DeYoung made contact at the 1, and then he was able to bury himself into the end zone for a touchdown. Avery Van Zee's 3rd score of the game.
Well, and I missed the replay there. I was looking out on the field, but it just looked like we had nobody out there. It was a wall of blockers.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what happened to our linebacker on that side. And Alex, you know, he made a good hit, but
Not enough to keep him out of the end zone.
No, not when a guy's running at you 15 miles an hour.
And not a guy that likes to run low as well.
Yeah.
Here's Miedema on for the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick is on the way, and it is straight through. 3:49 to go here in the third quarter. Pella with a 28-7 lead over Oskaloosa. We'll take a quick break and be back with the kickoff after this on the No Coast Network.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge at kineticedgept.com or call us at 641-676-3535.
Main Street Oskaloosa is dedicated to giving our community.
With 3:49 to go in the third quarter, 28-7, Pella the lead. Two of their scores have directly resulted from defensive play, a pick six at the end of the first half, and right there, a 7-yard touchdown run by Avery Van Zee after a fumble on a read option for Oskaloosa. That has put Oskaloosa behind the 8 ball here with just over 15 minutes of action left in regulation, and they're going to have to get something offensive going here. Not something that Oskaloosa, not a position Oskaloosa wanted to be in, Doug.
No, it's not. Turnovers, that's 2 turnovers that have led directly to 14 quick points. And that's just killing us right now. We need to get our heads up and try to improve here.
Here's the kick all the way back to the 2-yard line. Here is Nunnikoven. Nunnikoven breaks a tackle and gets across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Looked like Gabe Thomas was there on the stop. But overall, Doug, what I can tell you, what I think is the most interesting thing here is that Pella definitely still has some skill guys that are going to be making a big difference for them here in 2017.
Well, they do, but their defense is as advertised. We knew that was
front as well.
Yeah, we knew that was good. Their linebackers and their front are their overall defense. I mean, this is a big-time defense again. They've been able to fit guys in and piece them together, and they are every bit as good on defense as what we thought they were going to be, and they're just shutting us down right now.
1st and 10 at Oskaloosa's own 21-yard line. Here's the snap. Howard looking to throw a quick one. It's caught by Cruz at about the 16. Good tackle over there on the open field. And it looks as though for Pella on the stop was Ian Vecina. He's had a good game, Ian Vecina. He's really locked it down on the edge.
Yeah, Pella's softening up a little bit. They're gonna let Oskaloosa, if they want to take a 6-7 minute drive, go all the way down the field. So actually they roll up in a little press on the outside.
And here's the snap, a handoff to Hill, gets to the outside, and it's going to be a big hit there on the far side of the field. Pella's tackling is in mid-season form right now. One of the things you see, besides sloppiness and some penalties, is a lot of teams have poor tackling form as you're not used to contact at full speed too much. But Pella has come out, and they have come out hitting hard. It's 3rd and 2 now. Oskaloosa probably trying to go a little quicker than we've seen. Here's a snap to Howard looking to throw, and he looks to Cruz makes a nice catch for the first down. Vecina makes the tackle after a pickup of 5, and the Indians move the chains. But Doug, the tackling has been fantastic for Pella in this game.
Well, it has, and for Oskaloosa, it's been a little bit sloppy, and you know, the game is changing, and you're only allowed so much contact during the week, and Oskaloosa's tackling has suffered right now.
Here is Howard. He's looking a little bit deeper. Vecina and Cruz going down the field, and just another overthrow. Both quarterbacks been overthrowing the receivers on the deep passes, but Coach, it looks like they're making a pretty concerted effort to get Jerry Cruz involved here on this drive.
Yeah, they are. You know, we're trying to hit the big one here, which, you know, it's okay. We've got to take some chances. Running game hasn't, you know, worked pretty much all night, and I was kind of looking over their sidelines, Gustafson, and seeing what they were going to do with him. He's trying to run down the sidelines and get that maybe knee out of, you know, get it worked up. But I don't know if we'll see him the rest of the night with a, you know, 28-7 lead.
All right, with 2:45 left, an incomplete pass going down the field on a rollout by Howard brings up a 3rd and 10 from Oskaloosa's own 34. It's 28-7. Pella, the 21-point lead. 2:45 left in this third quarter.
Well, it'd be nice if we could run that rollout and then drag somebody from the backside over the middle and maybe take a shot towards the middle. We're just running out of field over here on the rollouts.
Empty set Howard has 3 wide receivers to the near side. It's Nunnekov and Chapman and DeCock. You got Cruz along with Hill on the far side. 3rd and 10, here's the snap. Straight drop, and Howard now steps up, and he's in trouble. He's going to try to get out of it. He does, looking down the field, and now he's going to run around in circles. Defense breaking down, throws it deep, and it is tipped and nearly intercepted. DeCock and it looked like Cruz were in the same area, down about the 38-yard line in Pella territory, but that time just a broken play. Tried to get that Eli Manning kind of throw down the field, like we saw in the Super Bowl there, and it just did not pan out.
Well, good job by Seth scrambling around, but he's throwing off his back foot, and it's hard to throw the ball very far when you're doing that.
Oskaloosa keeps the offense on the field. They can sense that it's slipping away from them here. They need to get this first down. It is going to be 4th and 10. Couple of guys deep. My mistake. They do have the punt unit out there. I saw DeCock out there lining up, and I mistakenly thought they might have tried to go for it here. Still a little early for that. And Ruckel punts it out of bounds on the far side. So defensively now, the heat is on.
The heat is on. That's right, Emery. 2:26 left here in the 3rd quarter.
Looks like Gustafson is coming back in the game.
I think we're looking for, this game is not over, but we need to get a little confidence here, both defensively and offensively. And as Coach Harms said, we need to clean things up here and be sharp.
Well, Pella's offense that they've been running most of the game is back out there with just 1 receiver. Van Zee back in the tailback spot with Gustafson back on the field. Van Zee splits out to the far side. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff straight up the gut. And it's going to be Sam Warner picking up maybe 2 to the 35. It'll be 2nd and 8. But Pella's going to be real content to do this and risk run a lot of clock. How's Gustafson running down there, Coach?
Yeah, he looked pretty good there. Of course, I haven't seen him get out, just kind of a hand right off and see what happens. But I'm kind of surprised he's back in there. I thought maybe they'd go with Avery a little bit more here, especially the end of this quarter, and see what happened.
Well, Avery's been a little bit injury prone in the past also, so I probably don't want to get him dinged up either. I know he hasn't been hurt this game, but he has had some injury problems.
2nd and 8. Here's a pass. Gustafson sets up the screen. It's caught by Thomas.
Holding.
And there is a foul. And this is going to be a big play that's going to come all the way back. You can hear some of the fans screaming for a holding call, and it was there. It was pretty obvious right in front of us. There's about 4 flags out on the field. So dirty laundry play that time, and it'll be coming back here for the Dutch.
Yeah, that's a nice little play. This offense, you got to give Pella credit. They went in and they said, we're going to do something totally different this year with our personnel. We talked about it last night at Hy-Vee. That's a sign of great coaches. He's like, okay, this is what I got. I got some good hard running backs. I'm going to put them all in the game, and we're just going to run right at you. And that's certainly what they're doing.
1:36 left. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot. It brings it back to the 25-yard line in Pella's own territory. So it will be 2nd and 17 for the Dutch. Maybe make it 2nd and 18. And with a minute and a half to go, 3rd quarter, Pella leading 28-7. The offense still back out there. Both teams have their fair share of penalties. Oskaloosa's have been killer, however. 1 wide receiver, that diamond formation. Van Zee again splits out to the far side. Gustafson in the shotgun takes the snap and hands it off. This is Warner, a lot of space on the off right tackle, makes a man miss. He's across the 40, he's got a first down. Across midfield, and Keaton DeCock will force him out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. But again, it's just a matter of the players in white are outnumbering the players in maroon wherever they're running the football.
It's I don't want to say it again. I want to see the replay if we have it, because it is just wide open over there.
Well, and it's just a matter of both of those backs that they have that are alongside Gustafson. They hand it to one of them, but Van Zee's blocking out in front of them as well.
It's got 2 lead blockers every time.
And DeYoung's out there as well. We haven't said his name offensively. He's just been a blocking side in the entire game, and he is a big boy.
Yep.
Anywho, well, 1st and 10. They'll mark him at the 35 in Oski territory. Van Zee again splits out to the far side. The snap and another handoff. This is to Warner again, and he gets through the first wave to about the 30 and to pick up a 5.
Well, I'm not sure if DJ Miles is injured or what, but he did not even try to go in, and I think they've been running at him. He just backed up. Well, let's see what happens here.
2 in maroon. I mean, he's trying to come in there, but he's
getting on that one. Yeah, that was a play before. Our end got walled in.
That's the play before. and then Van Rukel couldn't make the tackle, and he was able to break it for a big gainer. And then right there, another pickup of 5, right back to him.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you miss that tackle from the safety spot, you're going to give up some big-time yards.
2nd and 5, NZ yet again out to the far side. Gustafson yet again is going to hand it to the left back. This time it's Gabe Thomas, though, and he's going to get another first down, a pickup of 6 before he's tripped up by DJ Miles.
So Pella just imposing their will right now on Oskaloosa.
And that's going to be the last play, you would figure, of this quarter. Just 9 seconds to go, and
Miles is coming out of the game.
He's been, it looks like he's kind of gassed, to be honest with you. He doesn't look like he's got a lot of energy out there. Week number 1 trying to maybe get in the game shape, but that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Pella in control. They have the football just outside of the red zone at the Oskaloosa 24-yard line after 3 quarters of play. Pella 28, Oskaloosa 7. We'll take a short break and be back with the 4th after this on the No Coast Network.
Main Street Oskaloosa is dedicated to giving our community the downtown they want and deserve. We bring vibrant community events like Art on the Square, Christmas in July, and the Lighted Christmas Parade to downtown Oskaloosa. We believe in the unique value of our district and work to support business here. Our city's history is important, and it drives our efforts in the revitalization and preservation of downtown. In 2017, we received the Signature Project Award for our inspiring and innovative placemaking efforts. Our goal is a downtown Oskaloosa can be proud of. For more information, contact Emily Brown at 641-672-2591.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
4th quarter, it is 28-7 Pella here live at the Lacey Recreation Complex. Thanks for joining us here as we near the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Emery Songer live with you with Doug DeCock, Jay Harms down on field level. And it's Pella football. They've been running it right down Oskaloosa's throat here on this particular drive with Gustafson back in the game. And this Pella team is absolutely looking as strong as they have the last few years. Just a very different look, though. Instead of kind of the finesse, high-flying wire act that we've seen with the Claybergs and the Finneys and the Van Wykes and the Holterhouses, instead a very different group. This time they're going to be relying on their strength on both sides of the ball, and that's what we've seen as Van Zee goes out to the slot to start this 4th quarter to the far side. It's going to be a handoff this time to Schnell. Reece Schnell breaks the first tackle and is able to get forward inside the 20 to about the 18. So they're picking up chunks, Doug. I can't tell you enough about how just important it is to pick up 4, 5, 6 yards every run, because that opens up the entire playbook.
Yeah, and I isolated on Tanner that time, and that guard is immediately on him. He tried to get around him, but they're just firing off the ball and opening big holes right now. It's difficult. Casey Hill is in there for DJ Miles right now, playing a little linebacker. So Casey getting a chance to play defense.
Oskaloosa knows that this drive, if there's points scored, is this a handoff. Thomas cuts it back inside the 5. He's got it. Touchdown. What an outstanding run by Gabe Thomas. He's been the 3rd fullback and the 4th option as a runner in this game, just coming in whenever somebody else needs a rest. And right here you can see it, Doug. He takes the handoff and then sees a little seam and just goes right after it.
Yeah, and once again, the center was able to get on the linebacker and just blow him off the ball. And an easy run and touchdown for the Little Dutch. So this one's getting ugly here early in the 4th quarter. It's 34-7 Pella.
Extra point coming up from Caden Miedema with 11:15 left in the 4th. Pella looking to try to tack on another point. Ware gets it down. The kick is up, and it is good. We'll take a quick break. Oskaloosa will receive another kickoff, but it's looking bleak for the Indians. They trail Pella here live at the Lacey Recreation Complex 35-7, 35-7. Take a quick break and be back with the kickoff after this on the No Coast Network.
So that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
Well, this is not what Oskaloosa had in mind for week 1 of the season. It came out looking pretty strong after a quarter and a half, but when Pella got a couple of big plays, including a pick six late in the first half, made it 21-7 at the half. And after that, it's been pretty much Pella controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball here in this third and fourth quarter so far. Just still 11:15 to go in the fourth. But Oskaloosa now down by 4 touchdowns, 35-7. Oski back to receive the kickoff to start this next drive, just hoping to get something going, some confidence built potentially with Seth Howard at QB. But Pella, again, as mentioned, it's a very different look for them, but same results. In control as this high kickoff to Nunnekoven received at the 13-yard line. He's going to try to weave his way forward across the 30 to the 35. He's at the 40, and then will tiptoe his way out of bounds. Nice pickup on the return for Nunnekoven. It looks like he's going to be a weapon at that position this year, Doug, so it's good to see him back out there. But I think even more importantly, this is confidence-building time for whoever Oskaloosa has on the field. You just have to do your job and feel good about this and try not to worry too much about the scoreboard at this point.
Well, absolutely, Emery, and that's not easy to do. We are in the first game of the year. We're getting it handed to us right now, but you know, you've got to be positive and find some good things to happen here. You know, Pella is ranked third, and they're ranked third for a reason.
And that's third in the Des Moines Register. The Radio Iowa poll still has them at number 1.
Yeah, hey, so got Tyler Miller in the backfield here this series, guys.
Yeah, good call, Coach. That's the first time we've seen him on offense, Doug, and Coach Jenkins really likes having a shifty guy back there sometimes. He'll kind of a more complete back, can run between the tackles and outside, but it's just not been there for him tonight. So they got the quicker, more shifty Tyler Miller, the sophomore, out there. First play is a little lateral pass on a screen to Tanner DeCock, makes a couple of guys miss. Still fighting for yardage and gets to about the 43, a pickup of 4. But Coach Harms, you're down there at field level. What's kind of the air and the atmosphere down there on the Oski sideline?
Yeah, it's kind of like the bubbles and burst a little bit, guys, right now. Not a lot of enthusiasm on the sidelines like we had, you know, in that first half until that pick six. I'd like to see us offensively, you know, kind of open some things up, a little misdirection or something, a little bit something different than what we've done most of the ball game. See if we can find some space here.
Howard takes the snap, fires it out into the flat. It's caught and a first down. This is Nunnekoven picking up the first down to the 49, 48-ish yard line in Pella territory. And the Pella defense is going to give up those shorter throws, but Howard's going to have to hit some of those throws. There hasn't been a lot of completions tonight.
Yeah, he is, and I agree with Coach Harms. This is our second year on this offense, but you don't see hardly any misdirection or, you know, roll right, screen back left, or reverses or anything where you can slow those guys down and take advantage of guys pursuing so hard. And I'm not sure that it works. I'm not an offensive coordinator, but
Howard going to get taken down in the backfield for a sack. Loss of a couple of yards while Doug had that thought going. Just kind of scrambling around, but Oskaloosa with an empty set didn't have an extra back there to try to help with blocking, and it showed. Loss of 3 on the sack.
And I like that they got Tyler Miller, getting him some time in the game here with Casey playing linebacker. You know, we got to find some linebackers. And as we were talking off the air, we are very small at linebacker.
4 wide receivers, Miller in the backfield, a quick throw, looking forward to Cock. Makes a nice catch momentarily, but the ball was off the ground. They did not give him credit for the catch, which actually helps Oskaloosa, as that would have been a fumble and a recovery by the Dutch right there with Warner picking it up. But just a little bit of a bobble, just never really had full control of it, and then it just hit the turf. Good defense that time as well by Reese Schnell, helping break the pass up.
Reese Snell's done a good job tonight.
Both sides.
Both sides of the ball. He's had a good ball game.
3rd and 13 for Oskaloosa at their own 49-yard line. 4 wide receivers and a shotgun, and it looks like a false start. Right tackle Blake Van Veldhuizen.
Now, the defense took a step towards him, so I don't...
It might be a neutral zone infraction. We'll see. It just kind of depends. And they're walking it off against Van Veldhuizen. That's a tricky play. If you see a guy like step at you, you can move immediately, and they'll likely call it on the defense. But if there's any hesitation there, it will be a false start, because they'll deem that you didn't have a reaction to it. You tried to draw the penalty. So 5 yards more against Oskaloosa makes it 3rd and 18 from their own 44, down 35-7 with 9:52 to go, fourth quarter. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Howard takes the snap, drops straight back, and he is going to be buried in the backfield. The young in there, also in on the stop, was Nathaniel Kissinger in there. So 3 different white jerseys in on the sack. And that's going to be a loss of another 3 yards, or pardon, about 8 yards. That's going to be 4th and a long ways for Oskaloosa, and they will be punting it away here, down 35-7 with 9:20 and counting to go, 4th quarter.
Well, this has been a bright spot tonight.
Punting, yeah.
And our kickoff returns have been pretty good. So
special teams in Blom, we haven't seen Blom yet, but he's a big-time kicker. So here's another great punt by Van Roekel. Look at him. Chase Van Zee all the way back to the 15. He receives it, breaks a tackle, looking upfield, and Tanner DeCock is going to help force him out of bounds at about the 30. A good return by Van Zee, but great punt again by Van Roekel without the wind directly at his back. He absolutely has been a bright spot for Oskaloosa. He punted that ball. He let it go at the 25-yard line, and in the air looked beautiful all the way down to the 15. So got to give credit to Van Zee for making a nice return there after the deep punt. However, Oskaloosa still trails with 8:59 to go. 35-7. Pella with the football at their own 31-yard line, and they'll spread it out. 2 wide receivers, and it looks like they're going to try a little bit of different look, and this is going to be a handoff running toward the near side, breaking a tackle. There are flags all over the place, and this will likely be coming back as the tackle was made by Van Roekel after about a gain of 7 as Sam Warner picked up the carry. With 8:50 to go here, Doug, Oskaloosa just trying to figure stuff out, but before we get to that, as this penalty gets marked off against the Dutch, I'd like to remind you to stay locked in after the game goes final. We are live, first of all, on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN all over the world with a live video stream on RadioKMZN.com and the KMZN mobile app, and also live in Oskaloosa and around the area on MCG Channel 7 with the help of the Oskaloosa video production team. Thanks to them for helping us out. And stay locked in on KMZN for Scores and More presented by Bubbler. That is going to be coming up after we go final here tonight. 2 wide receivers on first, and it looks like 18 after the penalties marked off. Gustafson takes the snap, will hand it to Reese Schnell, another flag right in the middle of the play. Schnell running through some tackles, gets down to the 30. A pickup of about 9, but we'll have to check the penalty yet again. Coach Harms, you're down there on the sideline. Is this as sloppy as it looks down there?
Yes, it is, guys, and we're just kind of talking here to Superintendent Ryder. Now they're throwing the penalties on them, but yeah, it's not a very well played game right here. Right now, pretty sloppy.
Block. Yep, so there's 15 on Pella. So. Yeah, you said it, Coach. As much as you might have thought that, I think the penalties are going to probably even themselves out, but Doug, you mentioned the timing of them just has not been equal. Oskaloosa's penalties have come at a lot worse times than Pella's have.
Yeah, they have, but
Pella's won this game, though.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Make no bones about it. The penalties, although they might be a little lopsided in the important timing category, there's definitely Pella has been the better team on the field tonight.
And it was the second quarter. That was a huge interference call on Oskaloosa that would have made it a 4th down with the score tied. But Pella has just dominated this game. I mean, you know, I don't really care about penalties. They just smash mouth football, and that's what we thought they were going to do.
Schnell gets a handoff on 1st and 31 after the 15-yard mark off on this chop block. A gain of 3 off left guard. A little bit of different personnel is going to come in and out of the game here. We're seeing Ben Nelson enter as a receiver, another junior. They're just kind of giving some different looks, maybe to try some stuff out with a 28-point lead. It's Pella 35, Oski 7, 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And 2nd and 28 coming up here with Gustafson. Are you surprised he's still in the ball game after getting dinged up on the knee earlier?
Yes and no. I don't know what they have behind him. It is 30.
And they are, looks like they're experimenting. Yeah, experimenting maybe a little bit with some ideas, but he's not going to be, I don't think, doing much. There's going to be dead ball. Looks like maybe a timeout Pella here before the play.
Flag on the play.
No, it is just going to be a timeout Pella.
Oh, timeout. Pella.
So we'll take a break. We'll take a quick break and come back with more action. Pella facing 2nd and 28 deep in their own territory, but they lead Oskaloosa 35-7 here on the No Coast Network.
For over 35 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in bringing your printing ideas to life with quality equipment, modern facilities, and a skilled staff. Whether it's a business card or a postcard, a book or brochure, and everything in between, Pella Printing applies old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to deliver the finished piece you envision. And they'll even mail it for you. Call 877-628-4941 or stop in off exit 40 behind Ulrich Motor in Pella. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
Not been exactly what you were looking for if you're an Oskaloosa supporter tonight, and well on their way to their 42nd consecutive win to start the 2017 season are the defending Class 3A state champs, number 1 in some polls, number 3 in other polls. I look at the Radio Iowa poll most importantly, and Todd Kim has said the defending state champs look good, and they all are number 1 to start the season in all 6 of his classes, and rightly so. Looking at some of the scores that Titus has been giving me tonight, a lot of blowouts, a lot of uncompetitive games here in week number 1, but sometimes you see that. Some teams just have to make some adjustments, but Pella's made some adjustments too. Big turnover for both sides of the ball, and they have done a fantastic job of being a power football team here instead of using the acrobatics and a lot of loosey-goosey feel. Van Zee is going to split out here to the near side on 2nd and 28 from their own 13. And Gustafson will throw. It's going to be caught by DeYoung, but he fumbles it. Ball is loose, and I'm actually going to say it's an incomplete pass. He did not complete the catch, but he is down, and that is an important development because he has been a big player, has Nick DeYoung on both sides of the ball here in this game.
Yeah, they just run a little quick hitter to and that could have been a fumble. A nice hit there by Jaden Van Rukel, the safety coming up, and they ruled it incomplete. But
who knows what a catch is in football these days?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you watch literally any level of football, you just don't know.
Yeah, nice hit by Van Rukel. Looks like they might be checking the lower leg.
Yeah, well, I mean, as soon as he went down, you kind of saw him on the replay kind of reaching toward the knee, but maybe the way they're like working on it, maybe it's just a cramp. I'm not sure, but if you're Coach McKinstry, just get him out of the game. You can't afford to lose a guy like that.
Yeah, and that's
he's been a big reason why they've been able to run all over Oskaloosa.
Absolutely, and that tackle is exactly what I've been talking about. Did you see how he went through his thighs and hit with his shoulder pads? That's what we got to do more of, is hit through the back instead of waiting and letting the runners come to us. And a nice hit right there by Van Rukel, but I hate to see this. If this is a knee, that would be a severe blow for Pella, because that's a two-way player and a big-time player.
That is going to be a catalyst for how successful they are, because you don't say his name. He's not in the backfield. He's not kind of those lead blockers that they've been following, these fullbacks, especially since the first quarter. Van Zee tore him up in the first quarter. After that, Coach Jenkins made an adjustment, and they've just been using those fullbacks really to be the guys that are doing a lot of the damage. But it's been his blocking on the edge and has done a great job of getting those backs to the second level, and they are running hard. I'm not sure. We'll see kind of how he wanders off the field. He's getting helped up to his feet right now. But it looks like he's going to walk off on his own power without too much of a limp. So I'm thinking maybe more of a cramp than anything else.
Good basketball player, too.
He's just a good athlete, and he's a big athlete, too. I mean, if you're looking at the dimensions on Nick DeYoung, this guy, 6'6", 250. That is a truck.
And he can run.
Well, they're trying to get him involved in the pass game a little bit here, but now with 7.5 minutes, 7:33 to be exact, Pella leading 35-7, 3rd and 28. I don't know how aggressive Coach McKinstry is going to be here. He's got just the one receiver and Ware to the far side. Van Zee splits out to the near side. Gustafson takes the snap, high snap, pulls it down, and is going to hand it off to his back, running through a couple of guys. I believe, couldn't get a good look at who that was, but it's Sam Warner, and he picks up a few yards to the 20 or to the 19-yard line or so. And that'll be a gain of 6. It'll be 4th and 22 with about 7 minutes left. It will be a punt here for Pella, and Gabe Thomas as well, who's had a good night punting the football as well. Oskaloosa's had a lot of good defensive series. Let's not pretend that hasn't happened.
Well,
but
you got 14 points off short, off of
turnovers,
touchdowns. And,
yeah.
And I want to emphasize this. This is going to be a good football team. Oskaloosa is going to be good. They'll make some adjustments. They'll get a little bit better here.
High snap. Thomas brings it down and gets it away. This is going to be in front of Miller, and he's just going to let it bounce. It'll be down at about the 40, make it right about the 40-yard line by Sam Warner. 6:36 to go, but as you were talking about, Doug, this is a great team that Oskaloosa is going up against, and even though it's different personnel, they're still going to be in the mix, I think, to go deep and maybe win a state title once again in 2017. It's just the machine that Coach McKinstry has right now, but when you look at Grinnell next week, very winnable game for Oskaloosa. There'll be a heavy favorite there on the road, and then Fort Madison, same story in week 3. you know, Fairfields and Mount Pleasance might be a little tricky. West Burlington might be a little tricky, but Solon and Washington are the games you circle after this one on the slate.
Absolutely, and they're a little bit down the line here. Solon's homecoming, I think it's our 5th game, so all the kinks better be out by that time.
Well, they run a very similar offense to what we're seeing here.
Cole Henry, guys.
Yeah, Cole Henry in the game to play some quarterback in a quick throw on a slant route to Tanner DeCock, but incomplete pass and no flag. As Coach mentioned, it's a different look for Cole Henry being 6'7", but Cole has been battling for this starting spot, just didn't get it for week number 1. But Coach Jake Jenkins said he's going to see his guy, you know, whoever's the backup is going to be out at receiver. We've seen Cole out there at receiver, but also going to get some reps at quarterback if the time is right.
Yeah, well, we've not only seen Cole at receiver, we've seen Cole at receiver a lot, and he's been targeted.
And a nice move by Miller across the 45 to midfield, and he's going to be tackled at about 3 sides. And he's going to have a first down for Oskaloosa and the first completion in the varsity career for Cole Henry.
Nice throw there. Nice move by Miller, Tyler Miller there, a little stop and go action, and he took a big hit there at the end of that play.
Yeah, he got up though, and he's going to go out wide, an empty set for Henry again. We'll see how Henry does here with 6:15 to go in the 4th quarter. Oski down by 28. Here's another throw to Miller, and he will get away again. That's the same time, or the second time, that he has gotten away from a tackler, and both times it's been Reese Schnell that he's left in his dust.
Well, there's our version of Van Zee, guys, right there.
We haven't seen him too much tonight offensively, but Coach mentioned he's every bit as shifty as Van Zee is.
Yeah, he's definitely more shifty. If your inside running game is working, though, you probably got to stay with Hill. But if you want to get it out on the edge, Miller's the guy to use.
Henry gets away, and he's going to just slide down before he gets hit at about the 40, and I would agree with that with 6 minutes left, down 28.
Yeah. A smart play by Cole there.
You don't want to take a hit here because he's still got a lot to play for. He's a wide receiver. We've seen him out there about half the time.
And I saw Cole play a lot last year in JV, and he does finish runs off.
3rd and about 2 here for him. He takes the snap, looking to throw, fires it. Scott Miller, but it's through his hands.
Well, nice pass by Henry, right on target there. Miller just let the ball go right through his hands, and but Cole Henry, nice little pitch right there. We just need to catch.
Henry at 6'7". You don't see a lot of tall quarterbacks like that. That's why Brock Osweiler gets a lot of eyeballs, because he's so tall. But as we're seeing now, that doesn't necessarily make you good. So 4th and about 2.5, maybe 3 here for Oskaloosa with 5:40 to go in the 4th quarter, down 35-7. 5 wide receivers, 3 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Henry in the gun, takes the snap, looking to throw, doesn't have much time, and fires in, nobody home. That is going to be incomplete. Maybe a miscommunication on the route running there, and that will be the turnover on downs.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there, and the Oskaloosa offense is going to have to go back to the drawing board this week, see what's going on. They will learn a lot from this film. One good thing about playing a good team on opening night is, you know, first of all, you find out where you're at, which we've got to make a lot of improvement. But,
for sure.
You know, Washington's overplaying Albia, which lost 49-7, and next week they play Mid-Prairie Wellman. Now, they're not really going to get tested. So, and we saw that last year. It makes a difference playing these good teams.
Here's a nice little run off right tackle, a completely new group except for Gustafson in terms of skill position. We're also out there. On the carry that time for the first time in the game was Dalton Chapman, a senior who doesn't get a whole lot of looks, but it's an opportunity for him with Pella with a 35-7 lead, and now 5:10 and counting to go here. 2nd and 2 from their own 49-yard line.
Oskaloosa playing it 2 deep, cover 2.
Just trying to keep him from scoring any more points. And here's a handoff to the other new back in the game, but Oskaloosa's going to blow this up, and it's Nick Dykstra, the first man in there. That handoff that time went to Dawson Lee. He's a sophomore.
Lee on the carry.
Yeah, nice play there.
Dykstra's had a good game for the most part. He had a little bit of cramping going on, but he's been active.
Loss of 3 brings up 3rd down.
He's had a decent game there at defensive end, so.
And that's the spot that I was most concerned with in the front seven, outside of losing Jack Moore and Vincent Ramirez due to injury. Peyton Krause really held that down the last couple of years, but after the big loss, they're going to pick up the first down anyway with a pickup of about 9. And again, they go right back to Lee. This time he gets going downhill a little bit and picks up the first down.
Yeah, let's hopefully we can hold them out of the end zone here. Oskaloosa making some substitutions on defense. Same goes for them. They don't want to get anybody dinged up here in a 35-7 game.
And with the next 2 games happening with Grinnell and Fort Madison, that Oski should be a big favorite in both those games.
Yeah.
Again, you just want to go in healthy and try to fix some things. And here's another handoff to Lee. This one going to bounce outside to about the 40, and then he'll go down at about the 40 or the 39-yard line.
Yeah, a long night here.
That was not Lee, actually. That was Aaron Bourne. So they're basically just trying to get as many guys in there as possible, looks like, for Pella, just to hand him the football.
And that's what they should be doing.
Gustafson's still out there, but now rotating into the game for the first time is Logan Shetterly.
And Walker Newman is in there for Oskaloosa at the middle backer for Tanner, and he's a bigger guy.
Here's another handoff. Good defense this time by, and look at, is that Casey Hill pulling that ball out, trying to draw maybe a return. He's still active out there at linebacker, is Casey.
Well, and I like that. They got him out there. Let's see what Walker can do here. Once again, the blockers got on him there. Our linebackers have just had a real problem with the Pella line getting on them.
Less than 3 minutes to play here, 3rd and 2. Shetterly takes a snap, gives it to Lee. Lee squirms his way forward, and he's got another first down to the 34-yard line, and Pella should be able to run the clock out from this spot if they utilize the entire play clock, which they've gone at a pretty good pace in this game, Doug. I wouldn't imagine that they're going to waste too much time, but they are rotating about 3 new skill position guys in every play.
Yeah, they're emptying the bench here. Usually you'd say, oh, the white shirts are coming in, but with this turf, every shirt's white. So,
right, you're right.
We don't have any mud on the field anymore.
I miss the mud. I'm sure the players don't.
I do once in a while, too.
I'm sure the players and coaches like having it to where it's pretty controlled. As here's another handoff, and this is, I believe, moving forward about the gain of 9 to the 25-yard line, and that is Bourne again, Aaron Bourne.
Well, one advantage that all the other teams will have that Oskaloosa didn't have is they will have film of this game.
Right.
And, you know, we heard that they were running something different over there, and they certainly weren't.
This is different. This is not the whole Noah Clayberg run around in circles and throw it up to 6'5" guy. This is very different.
No, this is more of a basic lineup right now, what they're doing.
Yeah, and this is a straight ahead handoff from Shetterly. And getting the handoff and moving forward that time was River Baker, a sophomore, and he picked up the first down and moved the chains to the 21 with 1:39 to go, 99 seconds left in the ball game. Pella leading Oskaloosa 35-7. And the first game of the season, absolutely not what Oskaloosa was looking for, but you just have to tip your cap sometimes to a team that's always tough to beat, and they always find a different way to do it as well.
Well, like you guys are talking about, you know, I go back a long way with Coach McKinstry, who used to teach here in Oskaloosa, and you know, he's playing with what he has over there, and boy, he's done a great job putting this football team together already this season.
It looks different, Coach. That's to say just the least, as there's a nice tackle made, and that's Cole Kraber making a stop there for Oskaloosa after a loss of 1. And we are at about a minute left to play here, and as the clock winds down, it doesn't look like Pella's in any hurry to run a ton more plays. A couple more plays, this game should be done. But if you're looking for scores, you're looking for more. It's Scores and More, brought to you by Bubbler, live on KMZN, 99.5 FM and AM 740, and on RadioKMZN.com, live after we go final, so be sure to check that out as well. Scores from all of our area schools, and some audio reports from some of the games as well. Shetterly, and he'll take the snap, but not before the flag comes out from the back judge. I would imagine this is going to be a delay of game. Maybe waited too long to make the play, did Shetterly. And
How about the east wind tonight? That's rare.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean it's good? Is it good? No, wind from the east, fishing is the least, isn't it?
I don't know. Coach Harms, do you have any insight to this?
I know, but it feels cold.
Is it northeast? No, actually the punts in going to the north have been sailing pretty good.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting weather. When Coach Harms was out there coaching the softball team, it was like 100 every game. And as soon as the softball season ended, it went to fallish weather pretty quickly.
It's that hurricane. I bet it's stirring some things up.
Oh, yeah. It's like an El Nino or something. Here's a quick handoff and trying to get to the outside, but being bottled up and carried backwards. And Hill into Young in on the stop, and that should take care of the ball game after the run that time by Derek Hackman, and that is it. Pella picks up a 35-7 win, and we are final. Oskaloosa will start the season 0-1 on the year. They're going to regroup, and they'll be facing Grinnell next week on the road. That's going to be a tough one for Oskaloosa to swallow, but at the same time, looking to try to get things going for the future as well. Doug, some final thoughts on this ball game?
Well, it was a sloppy ball game at times by both teams. Oskaloosa showed in the first half or midway through the second quarter that they could hang right in there, but eventually the turnovers, the penalties, the sloppy tackling, it all added up, and it added up to a 35-7 loss.
35-7 is the final score. Coach Harms waiting for Coach Jenkins down on the field, and we'll get to him in a second. Once again, I have to extensively thank, before we get any deeper into this post-game show, the Oskaloosa Video Production Program, our technical director on site, Dino Landucci, also have our board operator, Titus Letzring, doing great work with these kids as well, helping get ready for week number 1. Have to thank Kim Guile for helping us work with her students as well as we start the season. Big thanks to Doug Hoskins and everybody at MCG for helping us out, get this thing going on week number 1. A great broadcast, and we're not done with it yet. Still a post-game show to go with our final score, Pella 35, Oskaloosa 7. Still plenty of weeks left for Oskaloosa to figure this thing out. A couple of very winnable games as the season is going to wear on here. But for Oskaloosa this year, for the most part, the Indians going to look at this game and try to find room to improve. But they'll have 6 days to do it before Grinnell, as Coach Jenkins now looks to be saddling up next to Coach Jay Harms. Let's go down to the field. Coach Harms, take it away.
Well, down here with Coach Jenkins, and Coach, not the way you wanted that home opener to go here.
No, it wasn't. It's too bad. It just didn't really go the way we had planned, or the way they had planned even. It was a really ugly game on both sides, to be honest.
Well, we were talking, Coach, you got to play that first one to find out where you're at. And, now we know where we're at, and we know between week 1 and 2, that's when you make improvements and get to go to Grinnell next week and take on the Tigers. So I'm sure you're looking forward to a good week of practice.
Yeah, we're looking forward to improvement and, just getting better on both sides of the ball. We just made a lot of mistakes. Like I said, it just wasn't a very clean game on both sides. It really wasn't. So a lot of things to clean up. Yeah, we're going to win a lot of games this year. This wasn't one of them. This kid got away from us with a couple of turnovers too, and they scored on our offense. It's a difficult loss, and it's frustrating. But I don't know what you do. You go back to the drawing board.
Well, thanks for stopping in, Coach, and let's have a good week of practice and go get those Tigers next week.
Thank you. That's the plan. Appreciate it.
Well, guys, Coach Jenkins, thanks for stopping in. I know it wasn't probably his favorite interview to do right out of the chute, start the season. But, again, regroup and go get those Tigers next week.
Yeah, Coach, a great interview there, and great job, Coach Harms, down there. I also want to say this. Coach Harms can get away with doing that with Coach Jenkins, Doug, because Coach Jenkins knows Coach Harms had to do that a few times himself. So, Coach, any final thoughts that you personally have about the Indians here for this game as they head into week 2 against Grinnell?
Well, I think, Coach Jenkins, you guys, we talked about it. It wasn't a very well-played game tonight, a lot of penalties. Offensively, we just got to find some ways to move the football, and we got to get better up front. Our offensive line, we got to give, Seth some time, and there's a lot of improvement to do there. And, of course, defensively, we're hurting a little bit. We got some guys that we're missing this year that last year were huge there for us defensively. But this is where you try to find, try to go out and find some players. And, Coach DeCock and myself as coaches, you do that. You got to go find people that want to play, and I'm sure they'll be searching this week and looking for some people.
Well, Coach Harms, good insight as well. You know how it is. Sometimes you got to get worse to get better, and obviously that makes no sense when you don't have an idea of what I'm talking about, but sometimes you have to see it on the field and not be as effective for you to be able to make the proper adjustments and move forward with the season, and they'll have a good chance in a winnable game against Grinnell on the road next week. We'll go ahead and take a break and be back with more on the post-game show. Oskaloosa falls to Pella 35-7. We'll have the post-game show continuing after this break, live right here on the No Coast Network.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Penn Central Mall. It's more than a shopping center, it's the heart of downtown Oskaloosa. Located just off the square, Penn Central Mall has what you and your family are looking for. Need a last-minute gift? We've got those at Penn Central Mall. Need a little wardrobe update? Come see us at Penn Central Mall. Need a host site for an event or meeting? Think Penn Central Mall. We have tables, we have chairs, and we have the right amount of space to ensure your event is fun for all. Stop by Penn Central Mall to shop and stay to plan your next event with us. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Can I get some help?
So happy. Oh.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Bates Funeral Chapel presents Fan Appreciation Night at the Oskaloosa Indians' second home game. Pack in Lacey Stadium on September 8th to support your Indians and watch them crush Fort Madison. Bates is giving away a $300 Visa gift card, plus a free one-of-a-kind t-shirt. Every paid entry gets a chance to win. The varsity game kicks off at 7:30 p.m. The Oski Indians versus Fort Madison game on Fan Appreciation Night, September 8th. Presented by Bates Funeral Chapel.
MCG's new gigabit internet is here, and it's a real gig deal!
Connect all your devices, download an HD movie in 7 seconds.
Get unlimited use, no limits, no data caps, and no slowdown.
And stream a video with no buffering, ever.
Work, play, create, innovate with MCG internet.
Call to get your upgrade free for 30 days.
Buffering video, spinning wheels are over!
You deserve the best, and MCG delivers.
Live here one final time from the Lacey Recreation Complex. Pella defeats Oskaloosa 35-7, our first broadcast of the year. Doug, final thoughts on this ball game and what Oskaloosa probably is going to be looking to improve the most going into the Grinnell week next week?
Well, I think they're going to be looking to just overall clean their game up. I don't want everybody to get all down on this team. They're going to be okay. They're going to make some improvements. They've got talent. They need to come out next week, have a good week of practice. Now you find out kind of a little bit what you're made of and bounce back. But I think they'll be all right. I was a little bit surprised at how good and Pella was tonight. I was mentioning to you, the rest of the teams that play Pella, they're going to have one big advantage that Oskaloosa didn't have tonight, and that's they're going to have the film from this game. This offense that they were running tonight came out of nowhere, and nobody, for Oskaloosa, they were not game planning for that type of backfield.
Well, with that being the case, Pella going to Dallas Center Grimes, who is a capable opponent as well next week, and that'll be interesting as they will have that game at home, and they will bring into that game a 42-game winning streak, and the defending Class 3A state champs looked every bit the part tonight with a 35-7 win. Like to do one more thank you to everybody who has helped put this program together for you. If you've been watching us live on MCG, that's because MCG's helped us out an enormous amount. Big thanks to Doug Hoskins and everybody over there for helping us out. And way to go, MCG. $1,000 donated to the Oskaloosa School District tonight as part of the raffle giveaway. They're going to do that every single home game, and you've been seeing the ads for it as well during the broadcast. On top of that, we like to thank the Oskaloosa video production team. They've been doing your camera work. They've been doing the directing. They've been doing everything behind the scenes with the help of Titus Letzring and Dino Landucci, and, of course, their instructor, Kim Guile. It has been a very fun time working with these kids and just the start of what we expect to be a very fun season working with everyone here with the OVP program. And I'd like to thank once again Dino, Titus, and everybody who's helped us out. Alyssa Phillips also back in the No Coast Network studios. Kylie Broadway broadcasting our Game of the Weeks this year. So that is
Where was
nice.
Kylie at tonight?
He was at Atumwa. Newton and Atumwa at Lash Tech. Newton had a couple touchdown lead, but you can listen to all that with Scores and More, which is coming up right after we sign off here. But Doug, our broadcast team, it couldn't be better, and I'm really excited to get this thing going next week once again against Grinnell.
Yeah, things are going to be okay, guys. We just got to hang in there, and you know, it didn't turn out the way we liked, but it was a joy sitting up here again and starting a new year, and looking forward to next week and seeing the improvement on this football team.
All right, well, that'll do it for us. Pella defeats Oskaloosa 35-7 in week 1. We will have week 2 next week on the road at Grinnell, and we'll let you know all the details on that as we get closer to the date. We still have some things to iron out with the Grinnell High School in regards to video, but we for sure will be doing audio of that live on 99.5 FM and AM 740, KMZN, and radio KMZN.com. And so be sure to tune in with us on that. If you're looking for more football action, tune in tomorrow for William Penn University as they take on Baker on the road. That is going to be live starting at 12:45 on KMZN as well. What we're going to do is right now we are going to be signing off after our close finishes. Be sure to stay locked in for Scores and More presented by Bubbler live on the No Coast Network. So that's going to be coming up. For my partners, Jay Harms on the field, Doug DeCock, this is Emery Songer signing off. Pella defeats Oski 35-7. You heard it and watched it live on the No Coast Network.
You've been listening to Oskaloosa Indians football.
Brought to you by Fairway, Mahaska, Oskaloosa Vision Center Incorporated, Clow Valve Company, Bank Iowa, William Penn University, Mahaska Drug, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Robert Ault Investments, Bruxford's Decorating Center, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Hawkeye Real Estate, Kelly Style Insurance, Pella Printing, Petrito Orthodontics, Penn Central Mall, and Raymond James Financial Services.
This has been a presentation of the No Coast Network.